and welcome to the Gfinity Arena. Welcome along to the Elite Series. 8 professional teams competing across 3 different esports games in order to win shiny prizes and cash money. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is our master tonight, as it is every single Saturday. 2 teams are going to be locking horns, battling it out for supremacy. What can you expect? Good question. You can expect a dash of brutality, patience, and you can also expect a showering of power. They will wait, and then they will wait, and then they will wreak havoc.
Ripping his way through everyone. Oh, critical play into the round. Headshot comes out as well. Hoodlum strikes Hoodlum. Rips his way through the AK-47. Warriors goes to the face. Oh my god, he gets the fadeaway headshot. A 1 versus 2, and Pickles makes it look sweet. Connor, you spicy man. And that is going to be one for the record books.
You need to strap yourselves in because tonight we have a stonking matchup for you. We have the European All-Stars of Prophecy taking on the plucky Brits of Team Infused. They're going to be battling it out on this very stage over the next 2 hours.
I'm here with a razor-sharp mind, Henry G, who is primed and ready to reflect on all of the live action. Now, Henry, I've got my first question for you this evening. Okay. Prophecy, are they the real deal or not?
Oh, I'm going to say they are, you know. Sure, they might be the only team that have been 16-0'd in the tournament. Yeah. But I'm not worried about that. Look at these guys. They seem ready for this one. They've got bucket loads of talent. Individual skill is ready for them, led by the razor-sharp mind, like me, of Quicks, and the AWPing talent of Calor as well. I'm very excited for this one. Going up against Infuse as well, I think they can do it. I think this is a 2-0. It's going to be fine. I like that.
Well, you did mention they had a mighty 16-0 defeat by Team Envious, but last week they really showed us their class.
But here it is, going to be open pass to kick it off. It should be an exciting one. Prophecy right now, a team that have proven themselves to have a lot of structure. Reason has to give up on this one. They've lost 7 rounds on the trot now. Prophecy, 10 rounds on the trot. And they close that round out. Terrorists win. Hoping to retaliate, but it's Mace to go big as he finds another kill. Once again, it's all left in the hands of Mace. But it isn't enough. Prophecy pick it up.
I tell you what, Henry G isn't the only sharp razor mind in this building. I'm joined here by Thorin, who always gives his searing honesty and always has a comeback for everyone. Thorin, how are you seeing Team Infused?
I'm seeing them. That's enough. They're here. They're on the stage. Let's hope they can actually show a good performance, and let's hope the only thing that isn't going to burn down the house is my burdens. Okay, beautiful. Well, listen, I tell you what, last week was painful for Infused. They are hoping it isn't anything like this week.
And Infused seem to have a strategy.
All right, let's go now. Come on, boys. Play confident, man.
Cosmin from behind. It's a hard shot to hit, but Fry, a 180, and now keep your eyes on Maeve. Not able to do a single thing, and a roar erupts from Infused.
That one.
Oh, Smaria? Outrageous!
Nice!
Snaps onto Fry, and I feel like he's going to get another. Oh, wow.
Come on, boys, we can take this back.
I hear you, Decree.
I don't think we can.
Another round this time for Epsilon. They are looking to be finishing this one off. Nice, neat, and tidily. And this is backs against the wall. Quite literally for their coach, you can see. 4 players hunting him down. It's Cosmin again. 3K from him, and they've done it.
So there you have it, Prophecy versus Team Infused. Very excited you could join us. So here we are, Henry and Thorin. Listen, guys, gentlemen, let's look at that Prophecy lineup and everyone that's going to be playing for them tonight. And a man, could you call him the entry fragger, Collar, who's got the absolute frags going into this match?
I think that's the main thing we've got with this Prophecy lineup. They've got lots of individual skill. There's plenty of names in here that are experienced, have played not legendary lineups or anything like that, but they've got experience at higher levels than this. So we're going to see some good things from them. time. I've heard lots of good things about Kolla and his AWP. Apparently, as soon as he gets that in his hands, it's going to be amazing. So watch out for that. Quick's a Swedish player, the in-game leader, apparently a very high fragger for them as well. So that's the main thing for them. Sure, like we said, 16-0 against Envious. Everyone's talking about that, but no one's really mentioning the fact they've 2-0'd everyone else in this tournament so far. So anomaly in terms of the Envious result, but overall, it's looking like a pretty good package, I would say. Yeah, and anyone on that lineup for Prophecy that you'll be looking forward to tonight, or maybe tell everybody this is the guy you need to watch tonight?
Yeah, well, I mean, Kolla has stood out as kind of the best player in the team, but the guy with the most experience is the player Kalle, who's a Norwegian player, and back in the old version of Counter-Strike 1.6, he was one of the top pros. He was actually like a big talent from the Nordic region. But as we've seen with a lot of these teams, like Barbar earlier on from Epsilon, some of these players who weren't as good when they changed to the new game had to transition more to that supportive style of play. Use the experience you've got at least to have an impact in the server, even if you can't always get the headshots. Yeah. Now, earlier on, we were talking about the keys to victory for Prophecy. What are they going to be there? What are those sort of key things going to be? They're one of those teams. There's such a cliche thing to say in CSGO right now, but it's just saying if the big names turn up here today, going up against a team like Infused, it's not the craziest opponents in terms of high individual skill, but there is some good players there, the likes of Aaron and Red Snake, big names in CSGO in terms of the UK scene at least. But we've known them to be 2-0. Everyone else apart from Envious. I do think they're the favoured team here. I do think they've got the more skill. But apparently, Quick's very good in-game leader as well. As long as he can kind of organise everything and utilise that talent correctly, they should be absolutely fine now. Okay. Now, of course, Infused have a man that motivates them. Oh, God. Wonder who this could be. He goes by the name, the Irishman, Neil M. What's your thoughts, Thorin, on having a coach behind 5 players that are in the middle of the game? How much does it help them having a coach behind you? I mean, it obviously depends on the team and the coach. You know, if you have someone with experience, like admittedly Neil M, someone who's been around a few years, he's played in many of these UK teams before. Sometimes having played in the game, when you're then kind of outside of it, you can see the mistakes a bit easier. And hopefully, I don't really think he's necessarily piloting everything, but you would hope he can just kind of be another set of eyes that can kind of guide the people in the game. Yeah, I'll let you in on a little secret here, Tom. Oh, I've played in a team where Neil M has been behind me as a coach. Win much? That's actually no, actually, surprisingly, no. Might have learned since then. But what he does bring to the team is like he keeps everything together. UK teams known to be very hot-headed generally. As soon as they lose a few rounds and make some mistakes, everything can fall apart. Arguments begin, and Neil M's very good at making sure everything's calm, you know. He's a very kind of like. But he's not a calm man himself because he's like a Jurgen Klopp in the football world. He stands there throwing his arms. He's always crying. He feels what they feel. Has he been crying? There we go. No, I don't think he's to be like the tactical mastermind of the team. But he can hold everything together, make sure no mistakes are being made and no arguments begin. I think that's his main role in the team for me, at least. Okay, so what are going to be the key factors for Infused tonight to get us as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I actually feel like Aaron is probably one of the best UK players available right now. He's got a lot of experience dating back to 1.6. He played in MCW and CS Source as well, one of the better teams in the UK at that points in Counter-Strike, but hopefully he can step up today. The thing is, we've seen a lot of big names from previous iterations of CS here today from the UK scene, and a lot of them have dropped off significantly, but hoping today that Aaron can still live up to his name and prove to be a very good player. Red Snake, an in-game leader for this team, hasn't had the best performances so far. The last 2 maps, I think he played here, 4 frags in each one. Wasn't very good. He wasn't very good at all, but he can be a decent player in his own right. He said today, I caught him in the back room saying, he feels like today is his day, he can perform, and hopefully those 2 big names, we do need them to arrive to actually stand a chance here. And obviously we've seen 3 matches earlier on today and across the Elite Series over the 5 weeks. I mean, what is it about the CT side? On the map or in any of the matchups, you play as the T side and you play as the CT side. Why is it more difficult for the CT side? And can Infuse play better on the CT side? I mean, usually the CT side is either you're going off natural chemistry, 2 people play a bomb site together and they just happen to know how to play with each other, or you need to build that up artificially by being a good team, having the right people, and then having time to work on that. So I think for the UK teams particularly, this is kind of showing that the practice isn't there, because that's one of the qualities where you can't just be chopping and changing the lineup all the time if you want a bomb site to really have every rotation down every angle. So I think that's one of the things that's telling. The UK scene famous for kind of a revolving door policy. Yeah, absolutely. It's a common misconception that CT sides, you're playing the same setup every single round, right? You need to be reading the game as it goes on. Every opponent you're up against plays a different style. You need to be adapting to that. So what the terrorists are presenting to you, you need to be changing things up and surprising them. Maybe it's aggressive pushes on the CT side, trying to find that first frag, actively hunting for it instead of sitting back. You can't allow a team like Prophecy of lots of individual skill to have map control. You need pushing into them, shutting down whatever strategy they have in mind. Then you fall back into the passive crossfires and things like that. So that's what we want to see, more aggressive style. I think that's what Infused do need to bring to the table here today. They cannot sit back and allow Prophecy to execute all their strategies. This is going to be beautiful. Gentlemen, Prophecy versus Infused then is the final live encounter of week 5. We've already had 3 fantastic live matches, as I mentioned earlier. Here's the story of the day so far.
Match 1 saw a Barber-inspired Epsilon prove too strong for Endpoint.
Well, surrounded, how are they doing this? Barber again with these pistols. What? Simple stuff. Epsilon win it out over on the T side.
In match 2, Envious booked their place in the semi-finals with a clean sweep over Excel.
He is the aggressive man. He's the explosive fragger that we need to see. Incredibly risky. Haji, one-man army, just ripping his way through. But switch out to the sidearm as well. Haji keeps it going. Haji, a 4K. They're just going to try and play these crossfires, but VKL peeks out. VKL just like easy kills. A 2-0 is taken. Envious continuing their streak.
And it was honours even in a match 3 as Method and Reason won a map apiece.
Looking to try and take the initial shots, grabs a couple as well, and he's just taken 3 out of this round. How on earth does he get away with that? What started off as such a strong position is stopped by Thomas and his M4. Very, very close in the end, but it is going to be Method 1-1.
So there you have it, the 3 matches that I've already played today, and here are the current standings. Obviously, if Prophecy get a win, they're currently in 3rd place, they will confirm a place in the playoffs. So listen, we will have Infused taking on Prophecy in just a few moments.
So I'm here with a team member who are, well, of a team Envious, who are top of the league. And how does it feel to be at the top of the table?
Really good, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew we could fight for it, but it will be a tough fight. And we actually managed to do the perfect run, and we are looking to keep it and go for the 7-0.
You were the team that actually beat Prophecy 16-0. Talk to me about that, because that's a heavy defeat for them, wasn't it?
Actually, we didn't expect to have that much of a big difference between them and us. But I think we were better in our mind, and we were really focused, and everything went well for us. And when we realized we could go for the 16-0, yeah, we fought for it and we got it.
You got it. No, like without even trying, really. You've also beat Infused. Who do you think's the stronger team out of Infused and Prophecy?
I think Prophecy have really good individual players, and if they manage to work well as a team and get a chemistry between all the players, they are definitely a better team than Infused can be. But Infused are definitely not a team that cannot perform. They can do well if everything goes in their way. Yeah.
Okay. How could you explain the franchise standings at the moment?
Actually, I think we are first in the franchise.
Yeah.
We did pretty. Yeah, we had a perfect run, so that helps. Rocket League team is doing also really, really well. Street Fighter guys had some trouble in the beginning of the season, but they are definitely working on a comeback, and yeah, we've won our last 2 games, and I hope we can make it to playoff on this game also.
You've got Epsilon coming up. You're only 1 point ahead of them. Do you think they're your biggest threat?
On Csgo, yeah, I think most UK teams have a decent level, but they can't compete with the European scene yet, and Epsilon are definitely. Even if they had some struggle in the league, they are definitely a good team that can step up, and I hope will step up against us, so we can provide the best show possible.
But do you think you can do it?
Yeah, I think so.
So we talked about your opinions on Prophecy and Infused. Who do you think is the strongest player out of each team?
I think Quick is actually good on the Prophecy side, but I can tell on the Infused side, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they all have like the same level when we play against them, but yeah, I can tell the names.
You're being so kind. I love that. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go back to you, Tom, and find out about tonight's game.
So then, earlier on today, Team Envious guaranteed themselves to the final 4 of this Counter-Strike competition. The race is now on to join them in the playoffs, and both of tonight's teams have semi-final ambitions. But tonight's match could all depend on the way the map selections break down. Thorin, for those new to the system, can you explain what happens in a veto system in CSGO?
Sure. Well, in the particular one we employ in the Elite Series, each team bans a map. Then they next ban the next round. There's 3 maps remaining, and they each pick 1 map from the 3. So we're only going to be playing 2 maps. You get to pick your map. But the key thing is you can take 2 maps away from the opponent. So you're scouting them out, you're figuring out what they're going to like, but you also want to take away maps you're weak on. So it's always that balance between the 2.
So you may have to sacrifice playing a map that you're not comfortable on, but you know that you get the one that you really want to play on. Out of these 2 teams, I mean, what can we sort of see for what sort of maps would they go for? There they are. Neil M. He's everywhere, isn't he? Look at him.
Can't get rid of it.
Furious. You can't lean on the sofa corner like that, the arm of it. But anyway, what can we expect from the?
Well, I know Infused want to be playing Mirage and Inferno. I know that's where they want to go towards. Whether they get that's yet to be seen. But I think they share similar map pools. We kind of caught them backstage as well, saying they're pretty confident they know what the maps will be eventually. We haven't seen any new. I don't think we'll see it this particular league. I don't think we'll see any. It's one of the least played maps in the pro scene generally. It's very difficult to kind of get going on that one. So I don't think we'll ever see that. But Overpass, same story for that really as well. We're going to see Mirage. Like Mirage, Cobble, Cash. Those are the maps we do expect to see, and that's what we've got right here. Cobble and Cash. Probably picking up Cobblestone. I do feel like they're going to be a stronger team here. The UK teams seem to have a lack of understanding somehow towards the CT side, especially. You can't really hold off the set executions. That's been a problem throughout this whole league for the UK teams, the CT sides in general, not necessarily even on the more tactical maps. But coming into Mirage as well, they should be quite comfortable there. That's a pretty standard map. It's very common in CS generally, and it means a lot of teams do play it in a very similar fashion. We talked about in the previous season, matchup we had, mid control, very important, and it's just being able to adapt on the CT side and bringing more offensive strategies to the table instead of sitting back passively. That's what we said we wanted to see from Infused.
Okay, so obviously Mirage is going to be that first map. We're excited to see that. What can Team Infused do to dominate it, to win it, potentially? I mean, we're talking about that midsection mainly.
Yeah, well, this is one of the reasons, actually. It's funny, when this map was around a few years ago, it was quite a tactical map. You know, people designed a lot of smokes. But the key thing is we haven't seen so much innovation in the last few years. People kind of know the metagame of how to play, and so that's brought everyone's level up, and it's become more of a skill map. So as a result, people kind of understand you battle for the mid initially. If you take that over, you're really in the driving seat. If your CT's and you take it over, you've really locked back the terrorist. If you're the guys on the T side, you have control of the map if you get that area. So look for battles there early in the round, you know. That's where smokes, flashes, utility is just to take ground up. It's like positioning, kind of jibing for who's going to take that area.
Okay. Yeah. All right, well, listen, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to do a little walk over. I'm going to walk over to the casters. Jackie, look at this. I'm actually walking. I'm allowed to do this. Snods,
how you doing, Tom?
I've got a little fist bump there, and I'm going to chat to Jackie as well. Now, you guys are going to cast this map.
Yes.
What can you expect? You heard from Thorin there about what to expect on Mirage. How do you see this one going, gentlemen?
Personally, I'm looking at 2-0. I mean, before, obviously, Epsilon played the games today. It was currently Prophecy second in the standings. Infused not doing so good on 4 points right now. This should be fairly clean 2-0.
Okay, and what about yourself, Jackie? Loving the pink shirt as well.
I know, I've got to spice it up a little bit, mate.
People can't see it, but you got pink socks to match it.
Yeah, bring it out.
I mean, look at that.
Matching socks as well.
They've got flamingos on.
I'm flexible. I try and, got to keep it going.
But how flexible will Prophecy and Infused be on this map?
Thing is with Prophecy, right? They're looking mean, they're looking large and in charge, they're chunky yet funky, and they want to try and pick this one up, right? Sure, they got beat by Envious, but going up against Infused, I think it's going to be a different story.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, I'll leave you a match, the map 1, which is Mirage. Gentlemen, take it away. Snods and Jackie.
Thank you. Beautiful. So, Jack, obviously, final game of the day. Should be a fairly one-sided affair. Prophecy so far been playing so stellar so far, especially versus the UK teams. Yeah. Yes, they lacked a little bit versus Envious Academy, but it seems like Envious Academy are just a caliber, tier ahead of the rest of the competition here.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, when you look at all these names on paper, right, the way Team Infused have been playing, they've definitely been playing above their pay grade right now. Sure, they have good impact fraggers, players like Mick, Aaron, of course, someone that was an absolute capital of the UK scene, definitely a big name. Fry as well, that was one of the young players that was tearing it up on the best UK team for a while. But then you move over to Prophecy, and you've got a team that, although they might not be the biggest names in terms of European CS, they found a group that works. They found strategy that complements them, and they actually managed to get some structure behind them, allowing Quicks to do what he does best.
Yeah, it's sort of like a international band of misfits, right? Yep. You have these players who are tier 3, tier 2 level of their domestic region. Slap obviously playing for the old QWERTY lineup and the old Acer lineup as well. Arch played for the Ukrainian team in ESA Premier. I remember playing him. And obviously Quicks as well from the old Premier as well. Which team was that with Robin?
Dendy.
Dendy, of course, a staple of the Swedish scene. So obviously Banner Misfits now, international lineup. How does the communication affect that? Obviously not speaking your first language. Is there like a few seconds delays you translate in your head? Or the fact that they've been playing the game for so many years, especially when you do your pugs and your general games, when you're not practicing, you are generally speaking English.
That's the thing. They have to switch it up a bit. Obviously, their calling style now focusing entirely around speaking English between each other and being able to work that in. Will that come back to hinder them? Right now, it seemed like it hasn't. Obviously, they didn't have a close game against Envious, the team that has been the most dominant force throughout the entire Elite Series so far. They had a 16-0 on Cash, where they just couldn't pick up any rounds. They couldn't find the momentum. But even then, that's not the worst result. You get 16-0 by the best team currently in the tournament. That's pretty good, because what that means is, obviously, you've won against everyone else. You can then go through, start to pick up the rest of the results. Even if they only come through with that second seed, they're going to be in a pretty good spot off the back of groups.
Exactly that. Finishing second means first round of the players, they will be dodging Envious Academy. That's obviously a scenario you want to be in as a team right now. Anyway, going to the first pistol round of the last game of the night, Jack. It's going to be the 5-6 of Kevlar from the CT side already. Fast frag from Kolo.
Yep. Kolar is going to be one of the big names you want to look out for. Him and Calais are a dynamic duo that will be explosive, they'll be aggressive and really bring the pain. But Slap wants to try slap down the opposition as he will peek out early. Mick is the only one able to stay alive on the side of Team Infused. And it looks like he will go down quick. Gets the knife round to kick it off. Absolutely butchers him.
First round already. Some audacious players coming out from the CT side. 5-6 of Kevlar as they make a fast and aggressive play towards middle. And it catches Infused off guard there. So already aggression shown from the CT side as they won't go quietly. It's going to be 1-0 in favor of Prophecy on that CT side, winning their CT pistol, setting them up for the rest of the remainder of the half, economy-wise.
And that's the thing, the amount of cash he got there is going to be huge for him, but the fact he's just going to get so much momentum, the hype they're going to have behind Prophecy now, whereas Infused, they're going to be so furious that's happened in the opening round.
So, bomb was not planted, it's going to be the force spike coming out from the T's currently. Forces a Kevlar helmet onto the T side. Preventing the other utility, but instantly goes down to the scout.
Oh, that is absolutely damage in there from Kolar. Straight through the smoke, tears his way through them as they're trying to blast their way straight up short. They want to hit heavy towards that B-bomb site, but they can't really find much success. Aaron will find one entry frag as he takes down Arch, but they just keep hitting the deck. It's all left on Mick here. CZ in hand, no utility to aid him. At least he does have a bit of armor stance, but it's going to be so hard. Finds an opening kill, though, towards Calais. But there's Kolar, keeping up what he does best.
2-0 now. Prophecy winning that round of 2 players remaining. Slap there, grinning away. Obviously high off the momentum that they just had on that pistol round. What's interesting to note as well, Jack, is the fact that, yes, Quick's got the knife kill, and they won the round of 4 players staying alive, but no one bought M4s or rifles. Yep. The reason being is they won the SMGs versus the Kevlar, the Tech 9s. They know that this round here, round number 3, will be the Eco, and we'll explain that in just a little bit as well. But the Eco run coming out from the T side now means it should be a 3-0, and a round where Prophecy can really build up as much bank as possible.
Yeah, Prophecy can take that laid-back approach, obviously just work on their economy, try and build themselves up into a very good standpoint into the late game, and then when we do have to see that AWP investment coming out, obviously going for the sniper rifle, it will allow them to get into a comfortable position.
So, a mechanic in Counter-Strike is the round loss bonus. Think of it as a mechanism to which allows you to come back into a game. Every single round you lose, continuously in a row, you'll build up more and more money given to you after a loss. It's to grant you a way to come back in and to continuously buy, even if you are losing. It goes, what, $1,400, $1,100, $2,400, $2,900, and then $3,400. So even at the top margin, once you lose 4 in a row, you still won't be able to get a full buy. But it means if you go for an eco round, you save, you don't invest any money into a round buying up utility, i.e. grenades or Kevlar or weaponry. It means you can have a full buy into a later round. So it's going to be the first buy coming round. First buy coming right now into the first game of the final game of the night. 5 AK buy coming up from Team Infused. No EDWP in play just yet. It's going to be the scout brought over by Quicks towards mid and then Kolar now reaping havoc with the AWP once again.
Yep, he's going to be so effective with this weapon. This is where he is in his heyday. He'll roam around, try and find those entry frags quite aggressively. Quicks will make the first mistake, though. Aaron takes him down and gives Infused a little bit of leeway into the round as they want to try and encroach towards mid.
Thankfully, though, it's the scout that's been taken down. Kolar finds the frag towards mid as well. Makes it a 4 versus 4. The scout's outplay from Quicks. You're in a 4 versus 4 right now. You still have the open play from Kolar, your star player. Slap and aggressive towards mid, has the backup of Arch as well.
The Molotov goes in, which will force Mick out of position. He has to just try and back off a little bit. And Prophecy doing a fairly effective job so far of forcing Infused out of the good positions they were in towards deep mid. They have to try and reposition now.
Yeah, exactly. Difficult scenario for Infused now. They have no presence towards the map. All they have is MCK now to find a frag towards mid. Try and find an opening for his side here. And try and find a key towards opening up one of these sites. a kill towards triple, or CT would be perfect right now, or even towards mid.
Oh, Mick nearly did actually catch Slap off guard. He was just holding the angle towards mid, just ready to pre-fire as soon as he got a tidbit of information that the peek was going to come out, but this is where the true play will occur. They shut down the late rotate from Mick. That denies their cross-play in towards the bomb site, but Fry will be able to eliminate Kale. Now they have free range to just try and push in. Slap is there, but he can't find the frags. Gets dispatched by Trials, leaving them in a 2 versus 3 retake.
Low HP onto Trials and Fry. It's going to be the 2 versus 3. The CTs have kits. Just one flashbang, no smoke grenade or Molotov to flush out one of these T players. Still the Mantis advantage. As I say that though, it's going to be the 2 versus 2. The wallbang comes through.
That is dirty from Arch there. He's able to just punish Trials straight through, tapping him through the cover as they now push their way back in towards the bomb site. They have no real utility apart from one flashbang, and they actually get caught off guard, but somehow they drew the damage. It's all left in the hands of Fry. He is unreal in these clutch scenarios, and Arch struggling a little bit to bait him out. He's just going to go for the full hold. Might actually get the defuse off it. So close, but Fry finds the kill.
It's a big round to win for Infused. If they had lost that, 4-0 down, forced onto another quasi-buy as the bomb was not planted. Well, the bomb was planted, but still. Forced onto a weaker buy, that could have left Infused in a very bad rut. They will eventually get around, but after 4. It's going to be a 3-1 scoreline now. Orb picked up by Fry 1. He will retrieve that off of the dead body of Kolo, but nevertheless, the CT side can still buy. It's going to be the UMP onto Slap, Deagle onto Kale, 2 M4s, and the Orb once again into Kolo's hand. We saw how powerful and strong he was towards middle. Can he carry forward into round number 5?
It'll be interesting to see what Fry actually brings to the table here as well. He is your all-round fragger on the side of Infused. Very explosive, high octane. Is going to be the one ripping through everyone. He's an artist with the AK, but he's also such a prolific fragger when he has the AWP in his hands.
Yeah, in current form, I'd say he's probably the best rifle, definitely the best rifler on this team. Obviously, 6 to 9 months ago, you could argue Aaron was the best player, even in the UK, let alone just this team. So already, Kolo finds the first once again. It's going to be the 1-man advantage for Prophecy.
Trying to take that mid control. That's per usual here for Team Infused. Trying to take it slow and steady. Just play split and pick. Try and find those opening kills to give them a little bit of extra leeway they need.
Still though, CT side is lacking utility. No kits as well means 5 seconds extra onto that defuse of the bomb. Arch holding towards Delpan. Red State will make it the 4 versus 4, but Aaron that's a very nice frag onto Arch. It's going to be the 1-man advantage right now for Infused.
They have a 1-man deficit, and it's not looking too fantastic. Slap, if he plays around the smoke perfectly here, could be a big nuisance. Definitely a thorn in their side if he's able to find the frags. Right now, just playing for info, though. Spots out Red Snake, will execute him. Spots the bomb as well, so they know where this round is actually going.
30 seconds left. Bomb down towards short. Aaron now towards B apartments. He's going to be so crucial. Kolo with the AWP can hold the long range angles towards short as well. Finds the first frag. Can he get the second though?
Trying to reposition as they now know Fry is incoming. They spot out Aaron as well, but he misses the shot. That was critical. It gives them the opener they need. He will pick off Kolo. Kale's here, but all he has in his arsenal is a measly Deagle. It definitely packs a punch, but he needs to get himself into a good vantage point to actually wield the weapon effectively. Fry spots him out as well, but he lands there, shot towards Aaron. But Fry is having none of it.
Big round to win again. It's going to be 2-3 round. Prophecy off the back of the pistol. Still have the 1 round advantage. It's looking like the eco should be coming out here for the CT side. 1 player staying alive though for Team Infused. Once again, the clutches go in favor of Infused. That means the money is still low. You can hear Neil as well in the background. Even he's saying this is a big round. The reason being is the money is low. On the Infused side, they're playing versus the full eco now. They want to have 4 or 5 stay alive, get the kills in the SMGs, build up as much cash as possible leading into the next Baron, so they have a buffer to work with.
Yeah, need to try and get themselves in a good position into the round. Obviously, the SMG here on Trials could be huge if he's able to find the openers. Clearing all their angles, Infused aren't messing about into this round. They want to try and play it clinical, clear every possible location that could be in play here by Prophecy.
Big rotation coming in through mid as well. Trials now does get the first frag towards Slap. It's going to be the 5 versus 4. Obviously, this is the eco coming out from Prophecy. You are expecting Infused to take this one.
Yeah, walking straight into a bloodbath, but unfortunately it's actually Aaron that finds the kill, so they're not going to receive as much as a money bonus as they would have done if those kills would have gone to Trials with his SMG. The last man left standing now for Prophecy is of course going to be Quicks, the beautiful Swede himself, as he's going to tiptoe over, but just looking for exits is the best case scenario for him now. If you can try and find those frags as Team Infused want to get out of the bomb site.
So, Quick's last alive now. Team Infused will take this one. It's going to be 4 players staying alive as well for the T side. Aaron finding a nice 3k there. Equalising this game out. 3-3 will be the scoreline as we go into round number 7. How strong is this buy going to be from the Prophecy side? CT side, meaning defense as well. So, you want good utility, Good counter grenades, Molotovs to block off choke points, orbs to hold the long range angles. And speaking of the AWP, we're going to be seeing no sniper rifle onto that CT side. Same goes for Team Infused though, as the UMP onto Trials kept forward into round number 7. And 4 AKs will finish off the rest of the buy, already lining up smokes to go eventually towards the contact play towards A.
This could be nice though. Kali playing the close angle towards the smoke. Tight towards Palace. Definitely could be annoying if they don't clear this. Oh, but it's not going to work out. Trials absolutely rips his way through him, but the UMP have all weapons as well. They're going blow for blow right now as they trade equally. Left in a 3 versus 3 as the side push starts to come out. Quicks wants to aid his brother in arms, but he can't quite get a good angle.
Bomb being planted as well. No kits for the CT side. 2 smoke grenades and low HP onto Slap and Quicks. This is heavily favored right now for Team Infused.
Arch gets himself into the boosted position right now as he does spot one man out. It's Aaron. That's a huge frag. He's so effective into the late round in those clutch situations. He goes down. Fry was the last man left standing, but it's not going to be him up to his old tricks. He will be eliminated this time, and they once again claim the lead.
Yep. Infused there, not anticipating the silenced M4 through the CT smoke there. On the stage, you got all the noises around you. Didn't quite pick up exactly where that M4 was shooting him from, and that granted Arch 2 kills in the side of both Aaron and Fry 1. It's going to be 4-3 now. Prophecy taking the lead back after finally winning a round after conceding 3 in the trot from taking that first initial CT pistol. Infused though, they had a big round versus the Eco. They had 4 players stay alive, which means they didn't have to rebuy armor or utility or rebuy their weapon. So the money stayed in the bank, and that's going to grant them another buy into round number 8. Orb onto Fry 1, and no AWP right now for the CT side. Already, the Orb is tested, but Fry 1 misses it.
Oh yeah, Fry playing that contact angle early. Wanted Prophecy to peek in there, try and go for the information play. If he would have been able to get that opening kill on towards Kali, that would have been a nice little start into the round for Infused. Once again though, trying to go for that standard default, attempting to take that mid control early. It's so important if they can claim it to try and cut off Prophecy.
Exactly. MCK towards underpass as well. One of the vital points of having mid control is allowing one of your players to go up short, try and find a first frag towards that B side from B short, or get an opening towards A from connector. Let's see what Mick can do alongside Red Snake and Aaron towards mid.
Quicks is there, playing for information close towards window, obviously listening out as well. But Mick, this is the guy you're going to see him running rampant with the rifle. Very, very effective when it comes to just landing those AK shots. He does get the opener, but what more can they do?
Slap makes it the 4 versus 4. Eventually go down. Still then, Quicks towards window, gets spotted up by Aaron. But we are into 3 versus 3, 50 seconds left on the clock, and the bomb is being retrieved, and eventually will come back towards that B-bomb site. Actually, it's mid! Red Snake and Aaron find kills, so currently it's a 1 versus 3. Low HP onto Red Snake, Kali has a kit and a flashbang, but still 40 seconds left, the bomb is marching towards that B-bomb site.
The bomb wasn't down, they weren't in any good locations, but Prophecy peeked out. They wanted to try and get more information, aid them into the later on into this round, but they peek out, they lose both of their players, and it's all left on Kali. He can be a machine, but trapped in an awkward position in this round. It isn't going to go in his favor. Aaron picks him off, and that's a free K for Aaron. We need to see him on form. If Infused want to start really getting themselves going, Aaron is going to be one of their keys to success. Him and Fry are that duo that is going to be tearing for everyone.
In terms of skill, Infused are definitely up there. MCK, Aaron, Fry 1. Trials, obviously, the very inexperienced young'un. I believe he's only 16, 17, so on the big stage he may cause land jitters. But still, time will fix that. But time won't fix a broken economy onto Prophecy. It's going to be the Scout onto Collar, and then Pistols and Kevlar. The quality buy coming out from the CT side currently as the money's been reset. 5 AK buy, slowly but surely making the contact play towards the B site, and it's empty.
Prophecy going to try and reposition here. They want to cancel this out as Infused have found the site with a welcome mat. They're rubbing their filthy feet all over it as they push their way through. He takes the frag towards Mick as well. He didn't have his gun out. And another kill into the round. This is a huge opener for him. It gives them actually a fighting chance into this one as Kali does damage with his Deagle. They're left in a 2 versus 2. Sure, they don't have as equally skilled firepower, but they're in a great start.
They have Kevlar as well, but no kits. If the bomb is planted and Infused get good after plants, that could spell the end. Arch down from the side will eventually go down into the 1 versus 2.
His position now, just wielding a Scout. Kali can't do enough damage. Tried to react, but it isn't going to matter. Torn to shreds by the AK fire. He will fall, and Infused are starting to get the momentum.
They are indeed. There should be the Eco coming out from Prophecy on their CT side as well. This could be what? 6-4 now, as it's going to be the USP buy from Prophecy. So as I mentioned before, with the round loss bonus, if you don't invest into this round, round number 10, you will get, what, 2,400 extra into your bank account into the next round, and that will allow you to buy up into round number 11. So, Prophecy conceding this round, versus Infused.
They're going to go for the stack style play here. Shock and Awe try and burst out at the same time, not play it out like a rifle round, but Mick is just running rampant, sprints his way straight through, going to take all the frags for himself. Kale and Slap try and do a little bit of damage. Kale actually still alive and kicking, but not for long, as he will fall.
6-4 is the scoreline, as 2 rounds separate these two teams. Prophecy, after winning the pistol, have only got 1 gun round since. Right now, in terms of consistency throughout the rest of this half, you have to be favouring the UK side. Infused in form. 6 rounds for them. It's going to be the 5 AK buy coming out again into round number 11. And for Prophecy, Caller there wielding that CT side AW peak. Has a good spawn towards middle, so can peek from connector and try and get that first kill and entry for his team.
That push comes through. It's these constant aggressive takes towards the A bomb site that are just overpowering Prophecy. They're not bending efficiently, being able to reproduce that and actually lock down these defenses. They're just breaking under the pressure. Infused burst their way in once more. This explosion's working so in their favor. Quicks trying to stay alive, has a little bit of support, but he gets spotted out by Aaron. He is going to go down. Arch falls as well. Aaron, another double kill.
Near them on your screens right now, the coach for the Infused side. The boys in red. Red's anticipating that one. He's so focused, he has no idea what's going on around him.
Mate, nothing gets past him in game, but Neil always bypasses him up on stage.
Exactly that. Catches James off guard. So, 7-4. Prophecy right now going to be buying up into this round. Actually, no. That was their buy round.
Yeah.
MCK just walked at A ramp, walked all over that A site, and granted them the 3 entries. Quicks as well caught towards window. It's going to be 7-4. A very one-sided affair right now in terms of the T side from Infused. Highly skilled team. The question is it consistent, right? You play a team where they lack tactics, as they don't really practice too much. Obviously, a few of these players have full-time jobs, which means you're practicing, what, 2-3 nights a week. You may not have your 90, 80 hours in the past 2 weeks, which means you can't fall back on your tactical depth to grind out rounds when it's needed. It makes it a lot harder to call as well as an in-game leader when you haven't got the strat book to go towards. So far, so good from Infused, as it seems like their players are fired and ready.
Because that's the thing, that's the difference between these two sides. The benefits to a team like Infused are the fact that they can very easily get pumped up. They can have high impact, high fire rounds where one of them just steps up massively. They decide they're going to be able to run in, do exactly what they want, and play with confidence. If you don't have confidence in Counter-Strike, you've already lost. Whereas for Prophecy, they're playing off the back of a playbook. They're playing for slow, strategic, clinical CS. And it's not working right now because they can't counter this aggression on display by Team Infused.
Precisely. So, round number 12 is going to be the Eco. Well, slight quasi buy coming out from Prophecy, Kevlar, and a CZ onto Quicks. Kevlar and a CZ onto Arch as well. Apart from that, it's going to be the non-armored 3 other CT-sided players. Kevlar, obviously, means armor. One of the big things from armor is the fact that it actually counters aim punch. Aim punch is a mechanic where if you are unarmored and you get shot at, your crosshair goes soaring into the sky and it affects your accuracy. So when you see a Fulliker coming out with just pistols and no Kevlar, you have to be favouring the opposition, and they're called eco rounds. Anyway, there should be 8-4. Prophecy should be in that 4-round deficit right now.
Early information is going to go the way of Team Infused as well. They spot out the player towards mid-window. This time Slap's going to be the one trying to be the effective man. Actually peers through the smoke and takes down Mick as well. That's a nice kill early, but they don't have their arsenal. Even though they have the advantage, they need to try and get another kill here or scavenge the weapon if possible.
Slap threading the needle through the smoke towards middle, finds the first frag onto MCK. 40 seconds left, so eventually Team Infused will be forced to show their hand, and already another man forward with the 5 versus 3.
This staggered play from Infused into this round. They want to try and play it slow, clear angles together, try and get picks effectively. But the push coming through from Prophecy is working massively in their favor. They've removed 3 members of the side of Infused. Make that 4 as Slap grabs the AK-47, knows just how to wield it, and puts a round square between the eyes of Fry, leaving it all on Trials.
Yeah, what can he really do in this scenario? 20 seconds left, has full utility. They're going to know exactly where he is.
Trials walks into the site. This will be his trial by fire to see if he can actually pick this one up, as the bomb will go down in the nick of time. He has an abundance of utility to try and aid him into this round, but the push is coming in thick and fast. Switches out to the flashbang, but that's not a rifle, and it's not going to aid you when you're getting shot in the side by Quicks.
Yep, quality buy round 1 there for Prophecy, making it 5-7. This game getting ever so closer as we go into round number 13. 3 AKs retrieved as well for the CT side, which means their money's going to be soaring ahead as they go into another buy round here. Infused obviously winning 4 rounds on the trot, which means their money has built up to enough to where they can warrant another buy into this round. Slap on your screens, notorious for feeling the pressure. He's someone who really shows on his face how important this game is for them to win. They don't want to finish 4th, Jack. Reason being is the person who finishes 4th is likely to play versus Envious Academy, and you don't want to be in that scenario. Anyway, the scenario we're in right now in the present will be 4 rifle buy and the AWP onto the CT side, and the same can be said for the terrorist. It'll be the 4 AK buy, AWP onto Fry 1. As we go into round number 13, 3 players, actually make it 4 players towards the apartments, with the bomb as well eventually. Fry 1 trying to find a frag with that AWP going for the contact play, but Arch will smoke him off and delay the eventual push towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, trying to keep him at bay for now. Obviously, you can see the bomb is dropped outside, so if they do want to go for a commit into the late round, they definitely can do so. Red Snake, though, his role was to try and gain that late round mid-control. If they want to go for a split push down through underpass, hit towards the A-bomb site, is definitely a possibility.
It is indeed. So, 1 minute on the clock. Prophecy tending to lean more towards the A site. You can see 2 players stacked towards A, 1 player Quicks towards Connector, but now Slap will eventually rotate back towards that B site. Infused having no control of the map towards A, or really middle, allowing Quicks to get all the information he needs. He knows no one's up short just yet.
This is going to be that contact play, though. Tiptoe your way in, don't make any noise, and just fire in off the first contact. That will be Red Snake that spots them out. Slap goes down. Red Snake, a double kill as well as he finds the headshot, sniping down Quick. So Arch has been obliterated on the bomb site by Fry. They only have 2 members left on the side of Prophecy. 3 casualties already, and at this point, they just need to save. They can't run the risk of retaking that B bomb site. Fall back and try and keep these weapons into the next round.
One of the keys to victory we saw on the screen was, can Red Snake step up into this game? A massive 2K from him into this round, and he's had multiple kills as well. Stepping up versus what we saw in the previous weeks. Obviously, I believe he is the player with the least kills across the whole Elite Series in Counter-Strike, so does bring the experience, the knowledge as well. Neil M does most of the calling, but obviously Red Snake does give his input here and there, but it brings the experience, which is so key for the younger and more up-and-coming players such as Charles.
Yeah, obviously with Red Snake, his sort of style of getting you into a good mindset, obviously he's a very affectionate player. He will try and boost you up, bring your confidence to a good level.
Back when I was trialing for the old Infused, when I used to play, he's somebody who really builds you up as a player. He will allow you to get aggressive, go for the picks. He's somebody who makes you learn from your own mistakes, whereas a lot of other IGLs, they will just simply say, no, you can't do that, we're doing this instead. But Red Snake's someone who makes you learn by, or, well, learn yourself by example, right? If you do things wrong, it imprints it into your mind a lot better that way. But obviously, into round number 14, the penultimate round of the first half is going to be the double ops that have run out for the CT side. Can this be the change of pace that Prophecy need to stop continuously losing these rounds on the defensive side?
A little bit of a failed flash there to allow Mick to peek towards underpass, but luckily it won't come back to bite them. No one was on the aggressive stance from the side of Prophecy. Here's the thing, Infused, they've only struggled in rounds where they haven't gone for a heavy aggressive attack. When they split up, try and play aim battles, take those 1v1s, that's where they're losing out.
That's exactly what just happened there as well. A 5 versus 4 now with 1 minute 15 left on the clock. Infused, all they have to do now is group together, group as a 4-man unit, have MCK go alone towards mid, have the late flank towards B short if need be, but group up, play the trade game, and the round is yours.
Slap. He's going to try and tiptoe in as well, play around the smoke. If they do try and get up towards short, he needs to shut it down and, more importantly, instantly relay that information. But it is actually going to be the split push towards the A-bomb site.
So, 5 versus 4 still, 50 seconds left on the clock. Infused have opted to assault towards this A-bomb site. Calais now holding the angle towards A-ramp with the op. Oh no, Fry. The timing works in their favor though.
He peeks back through, even though Calais normally a speed demon, Fry will prove out to be so much faster. Fry as well, a second frag coming out with his sidearm as he punishes Slap. Arch does arrive over, back up with his teammate Quicks, but they're just getting annihilated. Fry is a one-man army. He's running his way through the site and finding all the kills. Trial will pick up the final frag as he eliminates Quicks. And they're just absolutely dominating.
Look at the composure there onto Fry 1. Obviously quite a quiet guy, but very experienced. He was obviously plucked out of the best UK team currently at the time. That was the old FM current method lineup. He was brought into Infused. A very highly skilled player. Even the players from Method who used to team with him were removed, and they said if he goes off, he has the potential to be the best fragging player in the United Kingdom. So far tonight, he's been delivering. It's going to be the 4-round advantage run out for Infused on their terrorist side, Mirage as well. So far, so good. Prophecy now into the final round, forced to use all they have left in the bank. It's going to be the 1M4, 3 UMPs, and the CZ onto Calais. Not ready though. They have the 1-man advantage. Quicks is low, but is it enough?
A very key play there by Quicks, but Trial so speedy as he gets some extra style points for that kill.
Exactly, that's about what? A 90-degree flick then, while blind. Nevertheless, though, it's going to be the 4 versus 4. We've seen how this has already played out so far in this first half when Infused have the equalized numbers or the advantage. They're seeming to close it out through the grouping, the close-netted spacing play as they play the trade game and win outright.
Infused, taking that short control now. Calais going to be the one that will spot it out, but he peeks into the AWP of Fry. It's so easy for him to just remove him from the equation. Art's trying to work out what is going on towards B as he finally finds his composure, attempts to get the kill, but Trials removes him. Fry as well, keeping up the damage, and it's all left on Slap. He's in the rear. He's trying to get in position to do a little bit of damage, but at this point, playing for exit frags is probably his best case scenario. Actually moving on to the final round of the half here, so he needs to go in, has to try and do some damage. Red Snake will snapshot him down. 5 to 10 half, Prophecy.
Yep, after losing the pistol as well, that's
a
crazy round coming out, or a half, sorry, coming out from Infused on their T side. What's crazy to me as well is the fact that Fry1 is actually primarily a rifler.
Yeah.
He's only AWPing on Infused because no one else wants to do it. So just imagine the pure talent, the skill that he has to be able to run around the map, find multiple kills with the AWP, opening frags, trade kills, rotation kills as well, through CT and whatnot. Incredibly gifted player. And right now he's delivering. As this is a very big game for Infused to win. Obviously, currently I believe they're 5th and 6th on 4 points. If they win this map here, make it a draw, they're going to be tied with Endpoint, or even go 2-0. That'd be the dream.
Yeah, if they can try and project themselves up, obviously, into that top 4, get themselves into a nice-looking position to work their way through into playoffs.
So, 10-5 scoreline. So much pressure right now onto Prophecy to win this T-side pistol, actually. If they lose that, Jack, we could be looking at easily a 13-5, 12-5 scoreline. Infused on their CT side. Generally speaking, CT side plays in the favor of the mixed team. Sometimes the reason being is you don't have to have that. The set executes, the defaults and whatnot. Players can play with individual skill, and if players are performing just like they are on Infused, that can merit you the win. So, Prophecy's buy is going to be the 2 sets of utility, P250, flash smoke grenade bought onto Slap and Calais. It's going to be the double fake towards A. Or actually, the smoke's towards jungle and stairs or jungle and CT, and then they can have the players come in from behind through middle.
This could be interesting if they actually do pull it off. They get themselves up close towards middle right now, but they get spotted out. The CTs, they're trying to hold those choke points. Fry finds the opening kills. A beautiful double as he dispatches everyone in front of him. That's an absolutely fabulous way to kick off the round.
My goodness, Fry is so good. 10-5 right now. And it's looking like this could go even worse for Prophecy. The bomb is dropped, and MCK can hear that as well, probably. Careless play right now coming out from Prophecy as they're getting sloppy.
Yeah, sprinting their way in, thinking the round could possibly be already over. So Mick gets all that information. He finds the kills as well. That's the opening one. And there's another kill coming out for Red Snake Color. He's had enough of this Reign of Terror from the CTs, but what can he actually do into this position? He's left in such a horrible spot between a rock and a hard place. Fry has him hunkered down. He can't effectively peek out here. He will eventually find one kill. Gets a tag back on towards Red Snake as well.
But why is Aaron and Trials not pushing as well? They know exactly where he is. Just swarm him.
Just trying to overpower him. Use that battle of attrition in your favor. He has actually got into a fairly effective angle now to try and do the damage into this round. Takes down Aaron. He's only got 2 men left to kill. This could be ridiculous if he actually somehow picks this up as he starts to punish all of them. It's just left on Trials, and it comes down to the wire.
Look at the relief there on Neil's face. He knows exactly how impactful this round is. Pistols go 1 for 1, but the scoreline doesn't show it. This isn't an equal affair here. It's going to be 11-5, a 6-round advantage for Infused now, as they're just starting their CT side, and they're going to be playing versus the Force Spy coming out from Prophecy. Fry1 delivering tonight exactly when it matters.
Yeah, too close for comfort, though, into that round there. They need to try and sort that out, obviously. The major issue is with a lot of UK teams on their CT half, they can't quite close down those rounds. They're not as effective as they are on their CT half. Infused, they're in a great position now. You've got SMGs to try and rack up that cash, get yourself into a good position economically, but also to pick up this round. But Fry jumps for information and to get the early kills, but Quicks will pluck him out of the air. 4 versus 4, as Aaron will find a quick reply frag. 1 minute 25 on the clock, the bomb towards middle. 2 players on the T side have Kevlar, 2 players don't. So, still favouring the CT side right now as they have the utility, the defuse kits, the armor, and the firepower onto the submachine guns and the assault rifles. Still trying to go for that lurk towards the A-bomb site when the true play is going to be going all the way back through. And then go for the late round burst. It's on Slap here to be the nuisance factor. Try and find an opener and split push together.
Oh my goodness, Aaron are pushing towards ramp as well. The timing could be so good, but actually swaps his weapons. It's going to be a 4 versus 3 now as Prophecy's finding an entry towards his A site. It's all down to Trials. What can he do?
As Aaron falls, they get put into a good position. They have weapons and they have range advantage into this as they're starting to push their way through. But Trials is finding headshots. Sure, he goes down, but Mick retaliates as he finds another frag. They're left in a 1 versus 2. Kolor is a Deagle and a UMP, and he's getting pushed from CT.
Has no Kevlar though. 1 bullet from these SMGs should take him down.
Tries to fall back, but he sidelines. Forgets as he tunnel visions in, focusing towards connector. Red Snake peeks out, says hello, gives him a bit of how's your father, and takes him down.
Exactly that. So, 12 to 5 now. The bomb did go down, so it's going to be extra utility and potentially an AWP as well into the T-hands into the first buy round. 2 players staying alive for the CT side. If Prophecy were feeling a bit outrageous and audacious, they could go for the force buy into this round. But obviously, you force everything you had into this round. You don't allow yourself to gain another round loss bonus. As I mentioned before, the mechanic to get you back into this game, then it's a very risky play to go for. So 5 to 12 right now. Prophecy in a 7-round deficit versus the CT side of Infused now. We're going to go into round number 18 and another weak buy. An eco coming up from Prophecy as only 2 players have armor.
Yeah, they just need to try and play this one. Play it smart. Don't play aggressive angles, play to your game right now. You have the range advantage, just try and play around that. They actually do go for the smoke push here, close towards ramp as well, so we're going to see that push coming in from Aaron. This can be an effective angle early, but if he gets overwhelmed by these pistols, that could be the downfall.
Obviously a lot more timid to go for the jump, after getting his head clean ripped off. Still there, Aaron finds the first frag towards ramp. It's going to be the 5 versus 4.
Yeah, they need to try and get through this round clean and clinical right now, and they're picking off everyone. This is exactly how it needs to go. It's just left on Arch and Calais. They have to fall back, regroup, link together, and grab the bomb.
Another bonus as well as the fact that these kills have been found by the SMG, so it's extra cash. For those watching at home, an assault rifle, a pistol will grant you $300 as a kill reward. A submachine gun, your MP9s, your MP7s, your UMPs will grant you double that, $600. So those submachine guns are used as a way to build up as much cash as possible, to give as much money to keep buying up in case you do lose those rounds.
Yeah, it's vital to keep you in good standings into the later rounds right now. And this push finally coming through. But Aaron, he's just playing with confidence as he makes mincemeat out of him as he peeks out. Calais will dispatch 1 man, but he wasn't ready for the trade. There's Trials sitting up on a perch, will find the kill.
Exactly. It's going to be 4 players staying alive for the CT side as well. It's going to be 13 to 5. A massive 8-round lead for Infused now as they start the buy rounds on their CT half. Prophecy back against the ropes. What are they going to call as well for their first buy round? Do they go for the audacious, risky play, or do they keep it nice and safe and go for a default? Expand across the map, split up into groups of 2s and players on their own, holding for aggression from the CT side, and then fall back together, group, and then throw grenades in unison to execute towards sites. So, 1 minute 40 on the clock. Still a slow play coming out from the T side. It's going to be Kelly holding for the push towards A, but nevertheless, the CT side won't budge. You've got 2 players going towards underpass. They could eventually boost towards window, try and worm an entry and probe some information towards jungle and find an entry towards that A side.
Yeah, this is the thing. They have those late round rotates cut off as well. If you want to try and go for the information plays, they can disable that. Right now, Prophecy just trying to gain that map control, see how they can expand over, see what areas they can fit themselves into.
Smokes come in towards window. Fry1 playing aggressive still. Would it be caught off guard though?
No smoke there. They actually do peek through. They just contact face it. Fry gets the fast flick as he will eliminate Quicks. They're in good standings. If they can try and find another frag, Mick peeks out, but he surely cannot find the frag.
He has no reason to peek there. He knows his teammate towards connector is smoked off. He has no reason to throw away the advantage that Infused had. It's going to go down to a 4 versus 4 from sloppy play from MCK. Arch now towards connector can try and find this entry kill towards Aaron at Sandwich.
Aaron, not the man you want to be going up against right now. Arch, he can be aggressive, but it's going to be such an awkward off angle. Molotov goes in though. This forces Aaron out of position, but not before he finds 1 kill and 2. Aaron fights with the fire and flames as he's able to find these kills so swiftly.
Somehow, some way, he gets a double kill in the fire and the flames. Inside the Molotov, he's burning alive, but still keeps the composure and lands the headshots. It's going to be the 1-man advantage run after Infused. Make it 2-man.
Arch pushes onto the site, but he's so blind. He switches out to his knife. He knows someone's spamming towards him, and he can't do anything to try and defend himself. You have to go for the play here as well. They couldn't get the bomb down. There's 10 seconds. No way he could pick up the kills. He falls. Infused are so close to securing match point.
Look at the emotion there onto the coach of Infused. He knows exactly what's just happened there. 14 to 5. A 9-round advantage now. All they need is 16. 2 more for Infused to close this one out in regulation. Prophecy need to win 11 rounds, and they can only concede 1. Round number 20. Buy coming out from the T side is going to be extremely weak. It's going to be the 4 UMP buy, PT50 smoke, and armor onto Kolor. So, in terms of firepower, their arsenal, their utility, what they have in their inventory, Jack, you still have to be favouring Infused, the closest one out in a very one-sided affair. Execution comes in towards the A site. Here comes the assault.
You're coming straight in towards Aaron's home turf, and he's not too happy about it. Not one man you'd want to take up in a fight right now as he's ready. And he's landing fists all over the place, left, right, and center as he starts to dispatch everyone in front of him. Calais, well, flex his little aerobic skills right now as he bounds through the air and does take him down. They fall into a 2 versus 3.
One-man advantage right now for the CT side. They have Molotovs as well onto Red Snake, so they can flush out these T players once the bomb is down. Kennen now peeking towards jungle, trying to find that frag to equalize the numbers.
Flashbang goes in. It allows Calais the opener he needs, but it's not going to work out as Fry will pluck him out of the air with the AWP. It all falls to Arch. He has to peek. He falls. Match point has been claimed now for Infused. All they need to do is find one more round to close this out. Prophecy are going to be quaking in their booties.
They are indeed, Jack. So, match point now for the Infused side. Playing their defensive side. CT side Mirage right now. A 10-round advantage. Surely, Jack, they can't throw this one away, especially when you look at the buy coming out from Prophecy. A lack of utility. Submachine gun UMP onto Slap. 3 AKs onto Quicks, Callie, and Arch. And the AWP onto Collar. Fry with the up towards mid. He's been so pivotal at finding these first frags for the Infused side. He's been delivering round after round after round. Can he do it to close out this first map?
This is very true. Between Aaron and Fry, I think we're looking at 46 kills between them, which is
something absolutely outrageous.
Such a crazy feat between these two players right now. A swift game as well. Only 21 rounds have been played so far, and this is the push that's coming in towards that B-bomb site. You need to try and allow Quicks to get those opening kills. He has Overwatch support here from Kolor, so if a jump peek comes out, they can shut down Mick, but right now they're scared, they're timid. They know they can't make a mistake.
Arch, lurking towards Palace as well, has no utility, so it's a lot harder to sell the fake without the grenades. What's pivotal here for Prophecy is that Arch, lurking on his lonesome, needs to find an entry, find a kill towards the A site, and force away Fry 1 from B, back towards the A site, have the T's, the terrorist side Prophecy, then execute and go for the counter play towards B, where there's a man disadvantage in terms of the CT defense.
Yeah, try and get that early round information. Give yourself any tactical edge you can find right now, as it has to be flawless CS from this point out. They need 10 rounds on the trot to give themselves a chance to take this into OT. And right now, that's looking like it's way too hard to achieve. The Pussy's going to come in. Red Snake is there, the backup of Mick. They're holding a nice crossfire. All they have to do is rip off a load of shots as the push comes through. Red Snake will kick it off, has the support of Mick as well. They're blindsided, they tunnel vision in towards Red Snake. It allows Mick to go huge as he finds a double kill. It's left on Slap and Arch. They begin to fall. Everyone is dropping down. Arch will find one headshot, but he goes back as well. Mick, a triple kill to close it out. Team Infused grab game 1 in a matter of seconds.
16-5, a scoreline I definitely won't be anticipating saying. A massive upset comes into map 1. It's Mirage. Cobblestone is next. That's going to be Prophecy's map pick. Hopefully they show us something far better than what they did on Mirage. Slow, passive players on the CT side merited an easy T side there for Infused. They took it by the balls. They took every advantage they got. They played the advantage well. They didn't overpeak once they had that one-man lead. They kept their cool, they kept their composure, and they closed out the rounds in quick fashion.
This is the thing. Everyone that's gone up against Prophecy so far, they played a very restricted slow slav CS. They've given so much respect in the rounds. They're not used to someone bursting into their bomb site, knocking down the doors, taking whatever they want for granted. And Prophecy, they couldn't counter it. They didn't know how to counter it.
The pure skill coming out from players like Fry 1 and Aaron whatnot towards Sandwich. Fry 1 on the whole game, really. I mean, Aaron stepped up on the CT side. Fry 1 for me, the MVP of that first map. Stellar plays with the AWP, the pistol rounds as well, with the rifles too. Remember, this guy's a primary rifler, so the fact he's able to wield the AWP with that finesse, stellar performance from him.
Very true. And someone else that's got an absolute lot of finesse is, of course, Tom Deacon himself over on the desk.
Oh, you are too kind. Thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you, Snods. Team Infused take map 1 convincingly over Team Prophecy to give them a 1-0 lead. Time for the players to regroup now, and they'll be at Cobble next.
Now I'm here with Onset because it's not just about CSGO, is it, Onset?
No, it's not. We've got games going on all the way through the weekend. Fridays is all about Street Fighter. A lot of energy, a lot of hype on those days. Obviously, today is Counter-Strike Day. We dedicate Saturdays to that. And tomorrow, of course, we've got Rocket League, which is, you know, where I do my thing, get on the caster's desk.
And if you haven't seen any of that, here's some of our best bits.
Welcome along to a brand new era. Welcome to the Gfinity Arena and welcome along to the Elite Series.
Yeah! I'm ridiculously good. You don't want to play me.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna keep it. Oh, one in. Oh, me! Takamura clinches it for his team.
Bad choice of button, though. This could be the end.
Tensions? Nah, I don't know what tensions is.
There's no team there that should even be able to touch us, not a single team.
You can see the seeds of doubt in his mind, wants to just try and go for the peak. Fight the headshot! He gets 2 frags, 3 frags! Endpoint could take the win right here, right now!
The global, worldwide phenomenon that is Rocket League.
Right, here we go.
That right there is Rocket League.
Oh my goodness, what a game. What are we seeing?
This is huge. Where do Endpoint go from here?
4 minutes into overtime.
I ignite with an incredible finish.
This series is impossible to call.
What are you doing? Crave! Oh, that's brilliant! Wow, wow, wee wow. All that action, absolutely love it. So on set, round up Friday nights for us for Street Fighter 5.
Friday nights is all about energy, hype. All of the players, like, they just love it, man. They love being on the stage. They love giving it the big one.
Yeah, they do. They give it a lot of smack talk, don't they?
They do. They like beating each other. They like letting each other know they've won the games and if the other players lost as well. So
quite fierce.
Yeah,
they don't hold back.
They don't hold back.
Today's quite focused. Well, they have to be focused. So intricate and detailed, isn't it, Csgo?
Yeah, it's all about, you know, taking your time. It's all about picking up the kills when you need to. It's a very strategic game, a very tactical game. And you can see that in these games that we're showing at the moment.
Yeah. And then Rocket League, which you are a caster for, so maybe you're a little bit biased and say your favourite day.
I can't say that, but definitely my
also
favourite.
because it's when I'm involved, yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement, a lot of fun with Rocket League. Everyone in the arena has a lot of fun. All of the players, they perform every week and they impress us every week, and it's a lot of fun. Like, that's the thing about Rocket League. Everyone who's involved enjoys themselves and has a good time.
Now, if you're loving Gfinity at the moment, you can tweet us at Gfinity. Also use the hashtag Elite Series.
So then, Prophecy and Team Infused playing the first map, which was Mirage. And Team Infused, with this man behind them, the coach Neil M, got that victory. Eventually, that little high five happened with Redsley. Fry 1 was brilliant. MCK was an inspired form as well, getting all the frags. It was passionate, it was tense, but in the end, the match was taken 16-5. So they will be going into map 2 with a lot of confidence. Now, joining me, still got Henry and got Thorin as well. Now, let's talk about that map Mirage. We know the midsection is important. You've got some fantastic individual players in Prophecy. So how did that happen is basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, they didn't really show up today, did they? I have my little section up there on the stage saying they're going to turn up here and show us what they're made of. Didn't really arrive whatsoever. 5 rounds on Mirage wasn't really good enough, but fair play to Infuse. That looked stellar from them. Overall, everyone started to turn up. Aaron, especially on that CT side, looked amazing. I've always said I think he's one of the best UK has to offer. So consistent, so strong, and he proved it once again in Mirage. Just a great overall performance today. It looked like they had a game plan going into that one. Quite simple one. Not so many defaults, just fast-paced gameplay towards that A side, sticking together, hitting their shots, and I was actually pretty happy with that. And you know what as well? We talked about Neil M a lot. Do you know what? I actually love the passion he's showing here. I think this is a big deal for the UK teams. I don't think there is enough passion. We saw earlier when the Method guys were on stage, didn't really seem that pumped up when they won. Very quiet over there. This is a big deal for UK side. The fact you've come here and used a lot of money on the line, it's a great opportunity. Getting paid to be here, I think you should be fired up and you should be representing your country and showing you do care. And I think that's really nice to see. I just wanted to point that out. You know?
Definitely loving the passion. Round 14 was brilliant. Fry was an inspired form. Frags left, right and centre. They seemed more up for it. It has to be said, doesn't it, Thorin?
Well, the good thing about this game was, win or lose, you looked like the Infused guys actually executed their game plan. And I feel like that is what led to, on the Prophecy side of things, they looked actually rattled. Like they didn't look in their comfort zone at all. I think they actually have some of the better players on their team, but you wouldn't have known it from this game here. They looked really quite poor. Not just Fry 1, I think actually MCK had a pretty good game as well. He seems to have some pretty good aim, one of the better kind of rising talents, and this just was a runaway. This is supposed to be the team that was the favoured one was Prophecy. Sure, this is the map Infused wants to play, but this was dominant.
Yeah, this is complete one-sided affair, completely. Like the likes of Quicks as well, we've come to expect him to be a high frag at the in-game leader as well. The Collar Orb didn't really turn up whatsoever. And here's one of the younger players here, 25 kills. Definitely an unknown quantity in terms of the UK scene generally. Yeah, that's crazy. 120, that's nuts for one map,
and
right?
just to explain it for the ADR for anyone who's new to CSGO, that you get 100 health, so he's damaging more, he's killing people. Simply, the fact of the matter is sometimes they might have a 70 ADR, and at that point, you're going to need to have another shot in there to take that kill.
Yeah, it's the average damage per round, right?
Yeah.
So it means he's technically killing at least one player per round, if not more.
Brilliant. So listen, gentlemen, you've got the kills that were happening, the frags in there. What were Team Infused doing that Prophecy weren't? I know it's a simplistic
It's the A side for them on the T side and the CT side was very good indeed. As I pointed out, Aaron, he just looked like such a rock on the A side, on the CT side, playing towards the positions like Sandwich and he's shutting everyone down. He set around as well, he's standing in Molotovs, didn't give anything away, still finds 2 frags, wasn't getting overwhelmed in any sense of the equation whatsoever. He just looked very good. And I feel like the clutches were going in favour of Infused side. They're a team, if they get fired up and they get into the game, they can do very well. It's when things start going wrong, that's when that team crumbles. That's when they need players, or coaches, I should say, like Neil behind them to kind of pick up the pieces. But he didn't really have to be that factor today. Everything was going in their favour. Sure, they lost a couple of blunders in the early stages, but they pulled it back together. And overall, it's just a really solid package across the board, I think.
When you're planting that bomb on either the A site or B site, it's important to stay composed and to stick to your strategy. The Team Infused definitely looked like they were doing that and just remain composed, whereas Prophecy having to chase the game once they lost the lead.
I think the most impressive quality of Infused in general is they just looked decisive the whole game.
Yeah.
So, for example, even if they planted, sure, sometimes they didn't play the most economically sound way. They would push out, they'd be aggressive, but they would do it like with, with meaning. They'd know like 2 of us are going to push out. We're going to hunt this guy down. We're not just going to play in the site and wait for them to come back. So I feel like overall, they came in like looking like the better team. Like they believed they were the better team, and that's the key to me.
I have to say, how does one, you'd know, Henry, how does one stay composed with Neil M behind you doing that, trying to get a high five even when you don't want one? Even when you don't want one.
It looked quite jarring at that point, didn't it? You're in the zone, you just want a big round, you want to explain all the strategies for the next round, and all of a sudden that comes in.
Give it a high five, all right.
He's enjoying himself, like he's trying to keep the team motivated, which is nice to see. Maybe a little bit too motivated at times, but yeah, he's trying his best, and at least they're not kind of angry at it. They seem to be joining in. So.
The thing is, Henry used to love the passion. He used to say, "Please, sir, may I have another?"
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I have to say, with the next map 2, obviously 2 maps in every matchup, it's going to be Cobblestone. This is Prophecy's choice.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to win this one.
I think it's a big chance to get back in this series because the thing about a map like Cobble, it's like we said about Train earlier. These are the 2 maps at the moment. We're not going to see Overpass in this Vita system where you really have to have proper routine. You have to have proper tactics, really good CT setups. Otherwise, it's so tough to get rounds. It's not as simple as on some of the other maps where just skill can kind of out and win you rounds even if you're not as good on the map. These are the ones where you've really got to have it drilled. So, yeah, great first map from Infused, but this is the sort of map where you fall behind early, it's tough to get back in.
Yeah, and especially with the leaderboards we've got right now, they need the 2-0 here to really even have a fighting chance of even making the playoffs. So, like, Prophecy, they're looking quite comfortable near the top right now. Infused, certainly not. So we're hoping they can pick up the 2-0 here just so we can keep the UK hope alive,
Definitely, and they could overtake on 4th place. I'll tell you what we'll do right now. We'll pass back over to the casters, a.k.a. commentators, looking resplendent, as a word I just looked up. Jackie and Snods, what do you think is going to happen with map 2 on Cobblestone?
For me, obviously, Infused already getting the upset there. Yeah. Getting that first map on Mirage, I didn't even anticipate them to get 1 map. So for me, the draw is a bare minimum. That's definitely a good job so far. Prophecy on a map like Cobblestone, they've picked to hopefully they show us a bit more than they did on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. When you look at it, you're thinking Prophecy should be able to close this one down, but Cobblestone's actually always been a staple map that Red Snakes love to play. He's always built team around that Cobblestone map. It's always been their map pool fairly actively, so I wouldn't be surprised if off the back of the hype they've already got, if Aaron and Fry continue to do damage, they could close this one out.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to a 2-0, fingers crossed, UK win here. Gentlemen, I'll pass it over to you.
Beautiful.
So, final map here of the night, Cobblestone. As you mentioned before, staple of Red Snake's map pool.
Yep.
He is one of the anchor of that A site on the CT side. And actually what's interesting as well is the fact that the player who usually plays A with Red Snake is Trials. And obviously, you have Red Snake there. I mentioned in the preface before this game, he is currently the lowest in terms of kills player across the whole Elite Series. You're bringing in Trials as your second rotator there towards the A site, and he's the most experienced player on the lineup. You could argue along with Red Snake, the lower skilled end as well of that team. There seems to be a big weakness online, at least, towards the A site.
Yep, Trials, I mean, more so what we see him do is step up quite massively in clutch scenarios where you'd doubt him and you expect he is going to fall. That's where he starts to get his big 1v3s, his big clutch rounds. That's where the energy starts to flow for him. On land, he's never really had that flow through. But right now, because the energy's high, they've got a map win under their belt. Potentially, they can feel comfortable coming into this.
Yeah, that should relieve some pressure. But maybe when the pressure's away, they won't step up to the mark. Anyway, though, for me, I want to see Fry1 being that rotate player towards the A site, donning the AWP, warding that AWP, using the sniper rifle essentially, having the long-range angles towards connector, peeking towards mid, holding towards A long, playing aggressive towards the A site with it, and playing that rotator role towards B. Anyway, though, we are live into the pistol round. It's going to be the first pistol of the last map of the night. Let's see. Prophecy winning the pistol, starting on that CT side. Red Snake buying the utility right now on the T side, as Collar spots at the bomb as well, and all the players are infused towards A long.
See, this is huge as well. Even though they got the information, they haven't forced the rotate early, actually, because they could try and go for the around the world here, wrap back through, and take this play back towards the B bomb site if they want to.
They could indeed, Jack. One thing to note as well is the fact that Prophecy currently have 5 sets of Kevlar, no kits in case the bomb is planted, so the retake may be difficult for them. Infused slowing this one down. Red Snake towards B platform, trying to get aggression. But already, Harrop peeks out. Doesn't quite get the kill though. It's a sloppy affair, but still, no players fall just yet.
Pushing their way in. This is where the first casualty will occur. Quicks takes down one man, doubles it up as well as he finds another kill. Kolor chimes in as he will eliminate Quicks, but there's the first frag going out for the UK side. As Trials will find a frag back on towards Quicks, but they're left in such an awkward position now. They begin to fall. Prophecy, they get the opening round, and this is huge. They can project themselves to at least get another 2 rounds off the back of this if they play their cards right.
Yeah, we saw the exact same happen though on Mirage. They won their CT pistol in a very one-sided affair. From there, once the buy round started, they simply let it split. They had their economy in tatters round after round after round, forcing the pistol buys, the non-Kevlar buys, the weak utility, and the lack of ops as well on their CT side was a big issue for Prophecy on Mirage. For Infused though, obviously, they're no stranger to the slow starts. Let's see what they can do versus the shotgun of Slap.
Well, Slap going to get removed, actually instantly taken down. Quicks has a little bit of damage, but they get themselves immediately into a 3 versus 2. They've scavenged those weapons as well. That extra kick they have in their arsenal now could glide them through this round, especially when they don't know Fry's location, but he has an apple crumble. And it all goes downhill. Kolor eliminates him, and it's back into a 2v2.
That could be the difference maker into this round. They know exactly where the remaining 2 CT players are though, Jack. They can still make this happen.
Push coming in. Mick right now playing behind Rock. They have actually buffers them. I don't know who's there, but they clear the angle. The double kill comes out. The retake's looking good as they walk their way in, run them up through the site, and that is going to be the second round going to Prophecy. It was close, but at least they close it out.
Yeah. Fry1 had the drop of that player towards connector, but he let it slip. Should have been a 3 versus 1, and that would have been the end of the round. Last player alive for that CT side on Prophecy would have basically had to be forced to save at that point. Instead, they're giving a lifeline as Fry1 does whiff. It's going to be 2-0 right now, as Prophecy do win versus the Force by coming out of Team Infused. The problem is as well the bomb was planted for the T side. That's going to mean extra utility and firepower going into the first buy round.
So there is going to be that pause coming into effect now as well. And obviously, this actually does give them a little bit of time to reset just on the side of Infused. Obviously, that momentum coming in there, they can just chill out a little bit, pick it back as they get back into that continuum round. In terms of economy, we did see that bomb plant going down. So obviously, the buy is there as potential. They can go for that investment. It just depends on how they're going to be able to play this one out.
Yeah, I mean, you had 2 players staying alive for the CT side into the versus the Force buy. So, of course, the money will be low on that CT economy. The question is, do you risk it, right? If you're Infused right now, do you go for the audacious Force buy, try and take your chances, the high risk, high reward? Obviously, if that doesn't work, then you're currently in a 3-0 rut. You're forced onto an eco. That's 4-0 down. You're going to give the CT side so much money as well because they're going to be having the SMGs versus the non-armored opponents on the pistols and rack up as much cash as possible. It's going to put them in such a good scenario for the remainder of the half.
Yeah, it's true. They just need to try and at least find themselves that leeway early. Thing is with Infused as well, obviously. As we've seen, they're a very hype-heavy team, very energy. They need to try and get that pump behind them immediately or else they start to flatten out.
I mean, you can just hear it as well. You can probably hear it through our microphones as well. Just the pure emotion coming out from Neil M across the room. Prophecy's behind us, and they're dead silent when they're winning rounds, when they're losing them. For Neil M, though, he's shouting across the whole arena. So, question is, Infused, do they risk it? And if they do, if it pays off, is that their gateway back into this one? So actually, they have gone for the audacious Force buy. Fry1 opens things up.
Oh, that's a cheeky kill, as he is going to be able to find that frag straight away. Removes Arch from this situation, but Quicks pops out! as he finds a double kill, leaving them in a 3 versus 3 right now. They have been able to find their footing on towards the bomb site. Red Snake in the position that Fry failed to excel at last time, but this time he does the damage, finds the headshot on towards Kolor, cuts off the rotate. But Slap's behind them, they don't know. They've committed towards the bomb plant. Mick has to try and aid him as they're left in a 2 versus 1, but the bomb isn't down.
1 man advantage for Team Infused now. Calais pushing through the smoke, trying to make it 1 versus 1. He does just that.
It's all on Red Snake. The IGO himself trying to lead by example. He had a good showing into the previous match, but can he try and keep that going, keep the momentum for his individual performance? Calais, normally an absolute nightmare. He is such a strong player for Prophecy, and he's not going to let this one slip.
The timing there. Red Snake drops the UMP, picks up the AK, and in transition of picking up that extra weapon, he's unable to shoot, and Calais takes advantage of that. It's going to be 3-0 now. The force spike doesn't merit the first round there for Infused, so it's going to be a slow start here. As they go 3-0 down, and they're going to be forced onto a low bar. But they could force back into this one. I believe they're not, though. The reason being is, once again, obviously, 1 player alive on the CT side. You can still break that economy if you win 1 round. But eventually, they will cut their losses, and it's going to be the eco coming out from the T side.
Yeah, just going to try and go for the split style as well. Not grouping up, really. Probably going to be a late round take towards mid. They have no real utility to aid them. We're talking no flashes, no smokes, nothing to give them that extra little bit of leeway tactically to get in towards a bomb site. They do take an early tag as well. Aaron very low, just left on 22, but at least he wasn't taken down by Kolor here. But he's in a nice angle.
Money is still low on that CT side. Every single kill Infused can get will dent that bank so heavily.
Ooh, he did have the Kurt angle in play, but he couldn't find the frag. Push comes through as well. He has the backup of his teammate, and they do start to make mincemeat out of the opposition. The T's are falling thick and fast. It's all on Mick, and he's not alive for long.
5 players staying alive as well for the CT side, which means their bank will eventually start to swell and gradually, slowly but surely, build up to a scenario where they can continuously buy round after round in case Infused do get rounds on the board. Red Snake there, players sitting down. Obviously the coach, they're passionate, well really all the passion of that team behind him. What is Red Snake saying to his team right now? What's the call that he's going to be making? Is he going to go in for the concept play towards B, the drop split towards A? Let's see what they're going to bring into this one.
That's the thing. It's never really sort of tactically heavy for Infused. It's always the slower style split and picks or a heavy burst strategy that comes into a game.
For a map like Cobblestone as well, oh wow, actually, fast CT aggression coming out from Quicks. He's boosted up, could get the drop here on one of these plays, but actually shoots and gives away his angle.
Gives the game away and then decides to push in off the back of it as well. Doesn't even retweet because they know where he's from, doesn't actually back off, so they take him down.
So, 1 man advantage right now for Infused on the terrorist side. MCK now towards platform. A map like Cobblestone, on the T side, you want to have Fry 1, MCK, players with such strong individual skill and caliber. You want those players just going for the contact plays out of platform and taking the 1 versus 1 duels towards B.
Flashbang's going early. Just playing a little bit of contact style CS right now. Slap. Up close personal by the smoke. If he would have run the risk, possibly finds 1 frag, but the trade would have been back in there. They can't afford that. They've already lost 1 man. So as this push comes in, need to be on the ball here. Need to try and find 2 kills or more at this point. But Trials finds a double entry, one of them being on his own teammate actually, but Fry, luckily enough, starts to bring it back. Trials will be able to redeem himself as well as he gets another kill, and they do take control of that bomb site, finally getting that round.
Yep, only man falling from the T-sub was actually a team kill coming out from Trials, so don't really want to count that one. Technically, no CT players, they're finding frags towards their B bomb site, and actually, if you're Red Snake and Nearland right now, the tactical minds behind this terrorist, this T side on Team Infused, you're going to be opting to go back towards their B bomb site. It really lends to your player's strengths.
Well, that's the thing, mate. If he carries on like this, he won't be on Trials for long.
Exactly that, mate. Off the bench and onto the salary. So, man number 6. It's going to be a 4-1 scoreline, 3 rounds separates these 2 teams. Another buy round coming out on both halves. 5AK buy for Team Infused, no EDP for Fry 1. We saw the impact that that AWP had on Mirage for the terrorist side. But now, into round number 6, it's going to be the AWP again onto Kolor, and then 4 rifles to finish off the rest of the buy, but only a kit onto Arch, so things could get hairy.
Yeah. These rifle aggressive plays towards that B bomb site as well, working so heavily into the favor of Team Infused. If you have the confidence and you can use that utility there, you smoke off, you block so many lines of sight towards that B bomb site, flash over for your teammates. As long as you've got players like Fryer that are going to run that risk, feel happy to go in as just a mad fragger entry and pick up those opening kills, it's going to be such an easy strategy.
You have to remember as well the confidence he's coming into this game. Hot off the press from Mirage, dropping 25 kills in what, 20 rounds or so. You saw on the ADR, it's pretty much a kill a round. Gleaming with confidence, but can he carry it forward into this map? Currently on a 3-round deficit versus Prophecy, as the scoreline is 4-1. 50 seconds left on the clock now. The terrorists don't really have control of anywhere. Usually you're leaning towards an A-long default, a B platform default, but right now Team Infused have no real estate towards Cobblestone. And as the clock ticks down, it's going to be ever so against them in their favor.
Resetting themselves this time. Going to take the slow approach into the round, hit the fight towards the A bomb site. Kali does flashbang over, but he actually affects himself. Tried to fall back, but Fry, the man we've been hyping up so much, will find that snapshot. Takes him down as they now go for the flood towards the A bomb site. Kola was able to get himself into a good vantage point as he's finding frags with the AWP. He's acting so swiftly here as he keeps roaming around, doing damage, picking everyone off. And Quicks will find the final frag. Headshot towards Fry. Prophecy looking good in that round. A hat trick comes out for Kola.
Flamboyant play with a sniper rifle from Kola towards A long. Issue there for Infused is they went towards B. They wanted to go for the B play, but eventually those smokes towards platform just acted as almost a shield or a cement wall. They didn't want to go past them, and it forced them and toddled them back towards that A site, and they walked into the crossfire and the chokehold of the AWP from Kola. Typically on your T side cobblestone, you're going for a default what? One towards outside drop, holding for the push, one towards B, and then 3 towards A, taking control of A long and middle, but no control coming out from Infused, but they're going to be setting up for smoke, so this could be the execute hard and fast assault now towards the B bomb site. It worked prior, but can it work right now in the present?
It's a heavy early nade usage coming out from Prophecy into this round, but they do get the opener as well, so they can afford to try and burn through that utility, waste as much time as they can to delay this push from Team Infused.
Things not looking good right now for the T side. MCK now peeks out the flashbang. Doesn't spot the player towards tree though.
Mick actually gets into the site undetected at this point as well, though. They're still focusing towards the players, towards Broken Wall, but he hasn't actually found the frags. It's still all on Aaron, even though he was just playing from that far back position towards Olaf.
Another retake comes in for the CT side. A kill to slap an AWP onto Kola, so not the best weapons you want in this scenario.
Slap, playing up close and personal. That close quarter combat not going to go in his favor, though, as he will fall, unfortunately. The T side looking pretty good as they have hunkered themselves down, but they don't have much health to play with. But if Mick keeps landing shots like that, then they're not going to have to worry about their HP.
MCK there, finding the remaining 2 kills and grants them round number 2. That could have been such a bad scenario there for Infused. If they lost that round versus Prophecy, it would have been what? 6-1, I believe, 5-1 in that scenario. Your money's reset as you've gone and you're fully forced into this current round. Forced onto an eco, that's where Prophecy can really gain an advantage there in terms of money, put up as much cash as possible with the SMGs, having 4 or 5 stay alive and not having to reinvest into Kevlar, utility and firepower.
Yeah. Tactical pause going to come out here for Team Infused as well. Obviously, they have a little bit of time to talk through their strategy, try and streamline everything and work out how they want to approach these upcoming rounds.
So, if you're Infused right now, the reason you're going for the tactical pause, even though you just won the round, is, in my eyes, it's because you don't want to be reset. NeilM knows exactly what happens if, well, Infused themselves lose this round. Their round loss bonus will be reset. Yes, it's a 5-2. There's only 3 rounds behind, really, but they lose this round, their money's broke, it goes to 6-2. They're going to be forced onto an extremely weak buy or even an eco round, and that's where things can really get out of hand in terms of how many rounds Prophecy can gain on the board on their first half.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what Red Snake actually decides to go for, and obviously if he has been able to read the situation correctly as they get back in.
So, actually, the eco's going to be coming out from the CT side. Prophecy going to be throwing the towel into this round. No sets of armor right now for the CT side, just CZs, USPs, and actually the Zeus, the taser, the one-shot at close range kill onto Calais. Going to be using that towards the middle portion of the map, but already fast play towards the B site as they group up together versus the non-armored opponents.
Smoke's going in, trying to play after contact angles. Arch just going to play really up close to Broken Wood, I imagine, at this point. They will try and overwhelm. They have the smoke to give him a little bit of cover. If he pushes into the back line here, could take down Fry, but Mick sniffs him out, locates him, realised what was going on, and will stop any shenanigans into the round.
Yep, right after Prophecy as well. You wouldn't even, well, flinch to just not give these kills away. 5 versus 4. You're going to give away $1,200 in pure money in terms of kills, $300 per kill. So if they want to save this one, just not give over the extra cash, that's, you know, fine, understandable.
Red Snake, and a little bit John Rambo right now as he is trying to find the kills. Struggling a little bit, couldn't find his composure to get that kill. Luckily enough, Trials and Co are going to be pushing in as well. They can afford to run this risky a little bit, but not when the round gets electrifying, as Calais will tase Trials. Kola responds as well, the headshot back on towards Mick. There's actually quite a few casualties now for Infused.
Yeah, they'll be feeling that one in the wallet. 3 players currently deceasing from that T side. Anyway, it's going to be 5-3 now, as things get ever so closer into round number 9, I believe. Buy coming out from Prophecy. I saw one player there on around 1,000. The question is, are they going to do the 4 rifle buy, maybe have one player on a UMP light utility across the board for the CT side? And actually, the money's better than I thought it was. So it will be the 5 rifle setup, no AWP for the CT side, and obviously the AWP, the sniper rifle into Kolo's hands is so impactful to have, especially in your CT side to find the first frag. AWP onto Fry 1 again, and 4 AKs to finish off the rest of the buy.
Going to go for that fast play once more, it seems, as they charge their way over towards that B-bomb site, try and get those entries and then decide off the back of the round how they want to play it. It's Mick and Aaron. They are a dynamic duo that does cause a disturbance quite commonly towards this B site, but they're actually in good positions this time. Quicks nearly gets the better of both of them. Mick was able to retaliate and get the trade, but they do have a 2-man deficit into the round.
CTs have given up drop to take control of B platform, trading real estate and portions of the map, but eventually now Slap playing outside drop. We'll know if they're going to be X2 towards window or electric, as eventually the bomb will regroup back with Fry 1 with the AWP. But again, another scenario where Infused have no control of the map, and it leaves them in such a dear scenario. Once things go south, they're going to have to go brute force towards the site and rely purely on Angels to open things up and try and secure round number 4.
Very true indeed, as they are going to try and go for this contact group play. Wolfpack style aggression right now as they slowly tiptoe in together, slithering their way down towards ramp. See if the people come through. They don't actually react though. He did peek. He had the AWP on the angle but didn't fire for some reason. Fry, a little bit of panic shown through there.
Yep, unlikely for him to miss such an easy shot as well. 2 versus 3, low HP onto the remaining players. Slap should be able to seal the deal here.
It's true. He's in a great vantage point. They do so much damage from this. He's hearing everything they're doing as well. Play around the smoke. Peek out, finds 1, finds 2. Team Infused, looking more like Team Confused right there.
Exactly. It's going to be 6-3 now, as Prophecy are doubling the Infused rounds and currently have the 3-round advantage. Near them, they're not looking too happy. Stark contrast to how we saw him on Mirage, constantly shouting, motivating all of his team, and right now it's looking fairly lifeless. Round number 10, it's going to be the Eco or Quasi-Buy coming out from Infused as they have Kevlar onto 2 players, Aaron and Red Snake, but nevertheless, right? T-side, pistols, cobblestone, they can still deal damage, especially towards middle if they rush.
They are going to try and go for that burst style play, flood their way through, throw a spanner into the works and hope for the best at this point. Red Snake actually gets the opener, a ridiculously long-range kill with that Tech 9 as he just hammers down on the trigger, but Kolor's there. He's mean in this position, and he is an angry boy today as he finds a double kill, but there comes a response frag. Slap and Arch will remove the competition. It all falls to Fry. Sure, he has an AWP, but when he gets a chance to wield it, actually does get 1 kill. The nade comes in, blows him straight out of the server.
Yep. Gets the wallband dink there. Headshot through the wood. Puts him to low HP. And the grenade will eventually finish him off. 7-3 will be the scoreline now, as the buy comes in from Infused. Right now, what's the call going to be? They've had success towards that B-bomb side. They haven't really tested it. Kola seems to shut them down every single time. Playing versus the AWP, obviously, Infused a team that lacks structure. They should be going for the A-long default, smoke off the bottom of long, or the back of long, sorry. 1 towards outside drop, 1 towards B, and take control of A long and execute towards A and block off any impact the AWP can have. They're walking into the scope of the AWP with no flashbangs or smokes.
Yeah, that's true. Infused right now, trying to go for this aggressive play. They'll just flood their way through, and it's starting to work out. Once they get themselves back into this momentum style of CS, just heavy aggression, charge in, take what you want when you want it, and it all falls towards Calais, and he is scared. He is timid, and he's going to run away.
He would indeed. Quad entry there from Infused towards the B-bomb site. It's going to be 5 players staying alive as well, so that's good for their money, leading into the rest of this first half. So they went for the fast play towards the B-bomb site. They caught the remaining CT defense off guard and granted them the entries on the bomb site itself.
Yeah, it was scary because it was starting to look like Infused. They were kind of going to be the flame that burnt twice as bright but for half as long. They had used all of their will in one go, and now we're just left broken and with nothing left. There was just wax everywhere.
The issue here is, on their T side, how often is that brute force rush going to work, right? As soon as Prophecy have good counter Molotovs, good crossfires, good setups as well, maybe a player hiding towards Chicken Coop once the push comes in, a flashbang from Rock, a flashbang from Connector or Drop, blinding those players, someone peeks out from Chicken Coop, easy 2K. For me right now, what could work on that T side is going for the A-long default, smoking off the end of long, walking through mid, walking up A-long, taking control of the map, having 1 player towards B, smoke off platform, molly towards stairs. You can take control of B platform yourself just using utility itself. Have 1 player holding for the drop push, and then have control of long and execute towards the A bomb site and take the AWP out of the equation. But luckily for Team Infused, there is no AWP into this round to call. Let's give it the 3 UMP buy and 2 M4s as well.
Just lots of SMGs. They might be effective in close range. The position is being wielded by Quicks, but can they find the frags? Apparently the answer is yes. They decimate everyone that's in front of them. Infused have been served up on a platter right now, and Prophecy are looking hungry.
They've lost the bomb as well. Fry 1 makes it 5 versus 4, but still Arch chimes in.
Fry, he needs to be the one-man army. He has his partner in his crime right now as well, as he is in position. Aaron, he can do damage with this AK. An absolute artist with a weapon. He's holding a nice angle as well, but will the push come through? Oh, they're going to be able to approach this one. In terms of utility, double flashbang, they have a smoke as well, so they can try and block off a line of sight, push in. But the whole factor is they need to recover that bomb. It's going to be so hard for them to get these opening kills, recover the bomb, then go for the late round plant.
Infused. They need one more kill here if they want a real chance of taking this one with 1 minute left on the clock. They can get the first frag, turn into 2 versus 2, maybe play the trade game on to Kelly and have a 1 versus 1 versus Kola towards the boosted drop area. There's a chance.
He comes through. Aaron will not disappoint with the opening frag. He also is now aware of the location of the second man, finds a double kill. The hat trick was not on the cards for him. It's left in a 1 versus 1. Fry only has an AWP. It's such an awkward fight to take. He's going to have to wield the weapon like a shotgun right now as he's playing so up close and personal. Still has 33 seconds, enough time to try and play it, but this looks unwinnable.
Yep, that smoke as well will take off 15 seconds off the clock. Fry one's not going to push through that one. It's suicidal, but still, Kolla's close.
Making so much noise though as he just thunderfoots his way in. Going to try and goes to the no-scope. Fry shuts him down. A little smile, the first bit of emotion he's ever shown, and that is because that was a huge round.
How on earth have they won that? Bomb towards drop, you smoked off electric as well. You have the man advantage and the bomb, a near impossible round to lose for the CT side. Kolla there on your screen, he knows exactly how unlikely that scenario was to happen. It's going to be 7-5 now, and on the T side of Infused, after losing the pistol, they're slowly bringing this one back.
He spots out a fire, and he was furious, rips his way straight through it, shuts him down. 5-7 right now, looking like potentially if they could try and keep this momentum going, get this 6th round secured, maybe looking at an 8-7 scoreline.
It should be 6 as well. It should be 6-7 because it's going to be the eco coming out for the CT side. No armor, no Kevlar, and just pistols. No assault rifles or SMGs or sniper rifles to really deal the damage they need on the CT side to close out another round.
True indeed, as they do make their approach through. Going to try and continue with these show-stopping frags right now is the main man himself, Fry, but he misses the opener. This is where things start to go a little bit south for them, but luckily enough, Aaron's there with a backup of Mick as well as they start to do damage, ripping their way through fairly cleanly of this defense towards the B-bomb site. So they only have these USPs. They have no utility to delay that T-push as well, so they do fall, and we assume that Infused would pick up this round. They get through it fairly swiftly. They don't actually grab the AWP that was dropped off Fry, though.
Yeah, maybe they actually want to stay... Oh, no, they don't. So I was going to say, you could go for the 5 AK setup, go for the fast contact plays, go for the executions towards the B-bomb site. Obviously, you don't want an AWP in an execution scenario. The AWP really has its impact towards the early portions of the round and on some bomb sites and after plants. Cobblestone, obviously, the B-bomb site being such a strong after plant position with the AWP. Towards platform, you can lock off the whole of the flank towards T-spawn, drop, and also the run out towards rock. Sengo's very site as well. When you're towards wood, you can see connector, balcony, and much more. Here comes the push there towards mid. As Kelly finds the first frag. Actually, Red Snake finds the reply kill. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 still. 1 minute 30 left on the clock, and the bomb is still towards outside drop, towards T-spawn, so a slow default coming out, regardless of the equalized 4 versus 4.
Yeah, nicely done though. And they're grouping up as well, going to try and go for this aggressive play now towards the B-bomb site. Kolor gets the info, but he doesn't get a kill to try and further the lead they have. And Mick bounds into the site off the back of that as he swings his way into action, dispatching everyone in front of him. He's a machine in these scenarios. Just 2 players left on the side of Prophecy, and they are falling. Infused really starting to wreak havoc.
7-7 with the scoreline. Slap going to cut his losses and save the M4 into the next round, the final round at that. Minimum for Infused now 7 rounds on their T side after losing the pistol as well. In terms of kills, MCK stepping up. Thorin on the desk mentioned that actually impressed by the individual skill that Mick provides for this team. And so far, this final map he's delivering. Slap here, you can see the tilt just shining through there. Not too happy with how this result's going. Obviously, right now they are currently 3rd. If they get the draw, I believe they will be 1st. I'm not quite too sure. They might be tied for 1st with Epsilon. But still, a very strong showing here from Infused. This could potentially be the big upset of the week.
Very true. Infused right now showing so much prowess as they just steamroll their way through back into this game. It looked scary, looked like Prophecy had found their form, started to lock it down, but these last couple of rounds, Infused have really been finding all the chinks in their armor and being able to pick up these kills round after round.
Goodness, look at the buy coming out from the CT side as well. It's with a scout onto Kolla, scraping together whatever they have left in their bank to bring out a very poor buy. It's going to be 1 kill onto Calais, Thamas onto Arch, UMP onto Quick, Scout onto Kolla, and then the 2 M4s onto Slap and Calais. So, utility's fairly strong for the CT side, but they're lacking the extra kits, the extra AWP and firepower that Kolla should have in his inventory right now. For Infused, though, once again, it's going to be the AWP to Fry 1. 4 AKs as well for them. Fry has really been delivering this AWP and really stepping up. On the T side, question for me, though, can they carry it forward into the second half?
Yeah. Slower start of CS coming out this time around, though, for Infused. Not going to go for that burst strategy that they've been adopting in a lot of these very aggressive rounds. So they do dial it back a little bit. But how's that going to go down for them?
Yep. 1 minute 10 on the clock now. Bomb still outside drop, so Team Infused not giving away their hand as to where they want to end the round just yet. Fry one holding for the push towards B. Slap and Arch are going to hear these players falling down drop, and now they're going to push together and pincer in drop.
Timing is key into the round, but the flashbang goes in. They go 1 for 1. Trials actually steps up. Mick as well finds a kill back on towards Quicks. This is where it starts to pay off for them. Calais, he's coming in on the retake. He is hot off the press and he's hungry for more.
Collar only has a scout as well to try and retake and gain control back on this B-bomb site. It's the man disadvantage, the firepower disadvantage, but luckily though, for Prophecy, Calais does have that defuse kit, so the bomb is planted, but there's still a 5 extra seconds to defuse.
True. They have time to play with it. Doesn't need to be instantly, but they have to try and create these 1v1s, find frags that will allow them to slowly make their way back into the bomb site. Kolar could be the man to do that, but he doesn't realize. He's paranoid of the location of Mick, but he gets overwhelmed just off the individual skill of Fry. It's all on Calais, running around the smoke, but he will fall. That's an 8-7 half. They were able to do it, got themselves back into a good mindset. Yep. Continuous round being picked up, and now they're looking on track to continue this.
What's crazy to think about as well is the fact that, one, Infused, they lost the pistol round, so this could have been an even more one-sided affair. Obviously, that could have been, what, 11-4 in that scenario in terms of buy rounds. Just imagine, Jack, if Fryer 1 had landed that headshot towards Connector when he had the drop on a player when he was in drop. This could have been a 10-5, an 11-4 scoreline here early on in the first half. T-side coming out from Infused, and again, carrying on the form and the momentum from Mirage. Fry, MCK, they're delivering.
Yeah, nicely done. Winning out the half as well. It's going to give them the momentum they need. Now, coming into the pistol, though, need to try and continue that. There's been sloppy pistols, but they have been able to secure them. And you've got to give it to them right now. As long as we see that continued form, if they get this pistol under their belt, they're going to be setting themselves up for what could be a very tenacious CT half.
Precisely that. So far tonight, in this final game here, Jack, the defense, the CT side has won every single 3 out of 3 pistols. Let's see if Infused will carry on the trend here into the second half of the final map of the night. It's going to be Smoke, Diffuse, go into Red Snake, Forces are careful as well for the CT side. And of course, for Prophecy, Slap once again buying the utility and the P250. Forces are careful right now for the T side as they fastly approach towards drop and eventually maybe that B-bomb site.
Do slow it down a little bit though. The foot has come off the pedal. They're not going to go for that instant burst style aggression. They do have the one smoke and the flash, so a little bit utility will aid them into how they approach this.
Team Infused don't really have any information towards any portions of the map right now. Red Snake playing for the fast rotation from Connector. Should be able to aid Trials towards drop as well.
Flashbang goes in, so they can flood their way straight through drop down. Will Team Infused have a plumber on speed though as they start to find these frags as the push does come in. Kolar and Slap though remove their way through, but they won't know where the location of Fry. They've only just worked out what has gone on, but he's finding the kills all over the place. Fry finds a hat trick and shuts them down.
There he is, stepping up again into the pistol. We saw a massive 3K from him on Mirage, CT side pistol. And once again, he secures the deal. 4 out of 4 CT pistols won in this best of 2, the final game of the night. And right now, the CT dominance should carry forward for Team Infused. 7-9 is the score, and the bomb was not planted, Jack, as well. There should be the force spike coming up from Prophecy. As long as Infused can take this one, make it 10-7, win versus the Eco, we should be looking at an 11-7 scoreline. A 4-round advantage for Infused on their CT side cobblestone. There's a real chance for the 2-0 upset here.
Definitely so. As long as we keep seeing this ferocity displayed by Fry, they're going to be in good stand-ins to try and continue this absolute pain train.
So, 3 sets of armor brought up for the T-side. Collar, of course, saving. He buys the Deagle. He will be able to bring out the sniper rifle, the AWP, into the first buy round. Then again, the round still has to play out here. 1 minute 20 on the clock. It's going to be Aaron and Red Snake to hold the line here towards it, and already one of them are down.
He's going to clear his angles. If he doesn't actually check towards tight left here, Aaron can eliminate him. He has the UMP, he should rip his way through him fairly swiftly. It only takes 1 round there from Aaron as he keeps his prowess, keeps his cool.
Yep. Bomb not spotted just yet though. As eventually MCK finds another one. It's going to be the 4 versus 3.
They're picking them off and they're finding all these frags with the UMPs as well. So that's going to be that extra cash there. Starting to grab. Aaron looked a little bit confused, a little bit unsure about what was going on. Quicks. He knows exactly what's going on as he starts to do damage with that Tech 9, but he's left in a 1 versus 3. Sure, a couple of players here and there are low on the side of Infused, but they have no reason to peek into him. They have the bomb. Quicks has to make all the moves.
3 players staying alive for the CT side as they win versus the force by SMGs picking up kills left, right, and center. Going to be paying dividends for them in terms of the economy leading into the buy rounds. And now another clean round should come out here from Team Infused versus the full eco coming out from the T side. Prophecy. No Kevlar bought up just yet. Light utility onto Slap. Smoke, flashbang. P250 under quicks, and apart from that, it's going to be 4 clocks. This is looking like a 4-round advantage here for Team Infused already on the CT side.
Going to be going for that play towards the bomb site, it seems, once again for Prophecy. Obviously, they have nothing to play with. More likely, we see that consistent play they've been going for. Fry, a lot of confidence here as he pushes up. He can catch Slap off guard. He's got a nade out trying to go for the smoke over into the round. So easy to find the opening kill, but he gets quite confident. Tries to push in. He does get the double kill, but he's given them a free weapon. But Mick, he doesn't care. He wants to rip his way through them. A little bit messy, but they do have the advantage into the round, and this has forced Prophecy's hand. You can see they're panicked.
No armor, though. And the remaining 2 players, Quicks and Arch, UMP, M4, Molotov is all they have in their inventory. That's right, Clutch is 1-2 versus 3. Infused now the man advantage, the utility advantage, the armor advantage as well. This is saying all things Infused going into this round.
Oh, they walk straight into Aaron himself, who's not messing about. Finds that first kill towards Quicks, begins to fall back as well as he doesn't want to run the risk of giving them anything else into the round. If they do kill Aaron, they would be in a position to try and win this 1 versus 2, but they do fall.
The only issue here for Infused is, of course, Fry 1, he had the M4 and he threw it away. Nevertheless, though, 3 SMGs being brought over potentially into the first bar hit from Infused. They have 4 rounds to work with, and actually having the 4-round buffer, they're not going to risk it, Jack. Instead, dropping and throwing away, discarding those UMPs. They're going to be keeping on 4 M4 buy. Once again, the AWP board top for Fry 1. For the flip side, it's going to be the exact same buy here. 4 AKs and 1 NDVP for the T side as we go into round number 19, 11-7 scoreline. Prophecy, they need this round to slowly but surely have the comeback and equalize the scoreline. It's going to be 3 players coming towards A long. So this is the default I was talking about, Jack, in when I was commentating the T side from Infused. 3 towards A, 1 towards outside drop, and 1 player alone towards B. Throw your smokes, smoke off platform, Molotov stairs, flashbang as well. You can take platform on your lonesome. Have 3 players go towards A long, smoke off the end of long, block off any potential AWP prowess or entry frag that an AWP may be able to find, and then eventually this puts a scenario where Prophecy have control of A long, control of middle. They can execute towards A, but they can still fake it. They have real estate, they have control of the map, and they're blocking off all information that Infused could possibly have.
Keeping themselves tempered down right now. Not just exploding now. Obviously, Prophecy, they're aware of how dire the states are getting at this point. They can't just charge their way through, as they will be setting themselves up for this late round splish push, as they want to try and take that control towards the A-bomb site. Just split their way through, straight through drop down, hit towards the A-bomb site, hope they can overwhelm those CTs, but this is where Trials needs to go huge.
Trials now, the big man of the round. Actually, maybe not. Calais does the fake jump towards drop. Going to try and cause some panic. Calais down now. Team Infused going to be anticipating 2 players towards drop, and actually, no, Trials still is holding the angle. There's a chance here.
He repositioned, though. He didn't have himself in such a favourable position as he was in previously. As the push comes out, Aaron, he was in a great spot, but he couldn't find the frags, and it's left on Fry. At this point, just try and hold on to that AWP. Keep yourself bunkered down towards B-bomb site. They are going to push towards you actively, as Calais is the one hunting him out. Calais finds the shot as well. That is brutal.
Cause for concern here for Infused. They discard the SMGs, and they force up. Use all the money they had. Yes, they won 3 rounds in a row, but they basically got rid of those SMGs, reinvested an extra $3,100 per player to buy up those rifles. And now look at the situation they're going to be in. They're going to have no money on the CT side. They're going to be potentially forcing this round, having a weak buy, pistols, armor versus the full buys, the snipers, the assault rifles coming out from the T side. And you can see right now, near them right now, calculating whether or not should they buy. Heard him say, all we're going to have is a deagle, and he's right. Yeah. Money is so low. Do you risk this one? If you lose it, you forfeit and concede another round following that on the full eco as well, as you have no Kevlar, no armor. This could easily be 2 rounds coming back in favor of Prophecy. It was 8-11 now. It could be 10-11. The way that Prophecy get back into this one is by breaking that CT bank, and so far, so good.
Trying to rail them up a little bit here, try and get some confidence behind these Infused players. They were looking good, but obviously they've started to let it slip off the back of that round. It's how they get effective economically that you were saying. That's going to be the real kicker off the back of that. It's not even just losing that round, it's the continuing rounds that they could go on to allow to slip. The actual investment does come out, though. They're going to run that risk, and that's a big risk to take.
So, AWP into the hands of Fry 1, of course. UMP onto Trials, Deagle for Aaron. 5-7 and CZ for MCK and Red Snakes. So the buy is weak right now coming up from Team Infused. A distinct lack of utility as well, as only Trials and Fry 1 have the grenades that they need going into round number 20.
They need to try and hope everything goes their way at this point. They've pumped so much money into the round. If they lose this, they're going to have to give quite a few rounds to Prophecy for free, essentially. Fry has the AWP though, and he finds the opening kill. Nicely done. It's a very tight angle there, but he's still landing shots.
Colo, they're giving away the advantage to Fry 1. 5 versus 4, as the AWP does merit 1 kill. They can smoke off platform now, retrieve the AWP as well. This could be a double upset right now onto the CT side, and a real chance for them to go back-to-back in terms of rounds, make it 12-8. They smoked off platform, but I don't think actually MCK's risk going for the AWP just yet.
Push starting to come out. Quicks finds the headshot on towards Mick. Fry tries to get the trade, and he finds the shot. He will take him down. They have the manpower advantage now.
He's all down to Aaron and Red Snake towards the A side. Can they hold off the push that comes in?
They don't know the slap is there, but they're not in great angles to actually try and deal with him, Snods, as he is pushing up close. The supports come through as well. It's a complete reshuffle as the T's are going to go heavy towards this A site. This could be scary. Slap pushes his way in, clears his angles, finds the first headshot, but the response is there from Red Snake as he lands the 5-7 in close range. Oh, if he would have got the second kill, maybe it would have gone in their favor at this point, but it's left in a 1 versus 1. Kali up against Fry.
There's one person you want in this scenario. It's Fry 1. Kali gives away his position. Fry 1 pushes the smoke, doesn't quite land the shot though. A massive round right now for both of these teams to win.
Very true indeed, it's so huge. But the elevated angle's in play by Kali. He tries to spray down, but he can't quite connect it. You can see Fry confused as well, trying to play contact with the AWP as he has to reposition, but he's so dead, but he lands the shot! Fry, the clutch man!
Neil M screaming in the background. He knows exactly how crucial that round was to win. Fry 1 hits a nutty flick there and secures round number 12, potentially breaking the bank of Prophecy as well. For the T side, though, the bomb was planted, so that will merit them a few extra cash. $800 is what? Flashbang, smoke grenade, well, double flashbang smoke, Molotov, smoke grenade and whatnot. So that will aid them in terms of their grenades and utility. But look at that flick there coming out from Fry 1. The star player from Infused delivering map after map. So for the buy coming out from Infused, even though they won that round, it's going to be 3 SMGs. Deagle onto, actually no, the SMGs dropped. So 4 UMPs, 1 onto Fry 1. That was saved over after winning the clutch. 2 UMPs onto Quicks and Slap, and then 3 AKs to finish off the rest of the buy. They're going hard and fast through mid here.
Just trying to try and funnel their way through. Aaron has the choke point covered, but unfortunately he falls. They can clear out Red Snake's position as well, but he still gets away with 1 frag, and they don't take Matrix control. They just tunnel vision in, take a heavy hit straight through mid. Fry nearly lands the flick, but he has to just try and get out of there at this point. He's so low, and this is looking unstable.
A site notorious for being such a hard site to retake. So many crossfires and angles the T's can have in their afterplan. 4 versus 4 then hits into the CT side. Fry 1 is low. There's still a chance here though for Infused to take this one.
So much utility as well. They need to try and use this to aid them. They've got a lot of kits to play with as well. They can try and dial it back a little bit and just work together as a unit. Quicks will be able to overpower Red Snake in that bit of Mortal Kombat there.
Red Snake goes down, and that should be the save coming out from Infused on their CT side. Just cut their losses, throw in the towel, and bring another strong buy into round number 22. They're going to be conceding this one. It should go 9-12 here. Only 3 rounds now separating these 2 teams. Things are getting dicey.
Yeah, you've still got the 2 SMGs. You have that AWP on Fry. Heavy utility investment as well. Might not look like much, but into these following rounds, they need it to try and slow down the push from Prophecy, dial them back a little bit, and don't allow them to be as aggressive.
Yep. You can hear it there from Slap's mic. They're going to play this one passive. They're expecting some CT aggression to come out from the AWPs of Fry 1. Obviously found the first frag towards Collar, but that was Collar actually giving away his hand, playing aggressive, and did lose the duel. Obviously, having a sniper rifle, when you're holding the angle, you have to be favoring the sniper that's holding the angle, as obviously you have the advantage in terms of the reaction time. So, round number 22. 12-9 is the scoreline as Infused once again have the advantage on their CT side cobblestone. 5-7 for Red Snake. He didn't stop him last time, would have stopped him again into this round. It's going to be the 2 UMPs for Trials and MCK. And for Aaron, one of the star players from this Infused side, and what, 8 months ago you would have easily been saying or arguing that Aaron was the best player in the United Kingdom, had international offers he turned down, and here he is on the big stage, the Elite Series. Let's see what we can do. It's going to be the UMP onto Slap, 4 AKs as well. They expected Infused to play aggressive into this round and actually hasn't panned out that way.
Still, a slow style of CS in play. Kolo looking like he's setting himself up to try and work around this smoke, see if he can find an entry on any would-be Infused players that had a confidence push. But that is not on the cards right now.
One of the issues right now for Team Infused is look how passive they're playing towards A. They have no presence towards A long. Lack of information as well. Fry 1 playing towards Hubbard Hole, peeking towards middle. So if he misses this first shot towards Slap, that'll potentially give up the whole of the A site.
Smokes start to soar through the skies, block off those angles, force out the line of sight. Flashbang goes over, but Mick, he doesn't try and do some damage. He will fall, and surely he goes down. Fry rotates over, but he misses the opening shot. That's so critical into the round. It was a catalyst that would have given Team Infused extra leg room to try and play with here. Everyone is going down. Trials can't even do some damage. It's left on Aaron, and he needs to get out of there, try and backtrack as fast as possible. He is backpedaling away. It looks like he might be able to save.
In the preface before this map, Jack, I mentioned before that Infused notorious for having a weak A-side defense. Aaron and Red Snake, they're playing so passive. They have no information as to what's coming in front of them. They allow themselves to be executed upon. And a fairly easy one-sided round comes out from that. And it's going to be 10 to 12. The money is so low, especially now as Arch finds that final frag onto Aaron. No guns saved and brought over into this round. 12 to 10 will be the scoreline. As right now, Prophecy only in the 2-round deficit.
It's looking so scary at this point for them. Obviously, Infused, you can hear frustration there. They realise that they were in a good position.
Yeah, I like what he's saying as well. He says, well, to quote literally, we've been owning them all game. Why are we playing scared?
Yeah.
One of the reasons could be the whole, the pressure of the fact that actually this upset could be happening. And I've been in scenarios like that. Suddenly, you think, oh my God, this is actually happening. We can actually do this. You don't want to be that player that really ends the dream for the rest of the remaining 4 players on your team. You'd be that guy that has the throwaway round, gives away the advantage round after round, the player that plays aggressive and doesn't merit success from it. So the pressure is mounting on the shoulders of Team Infused on their CT side. You can hear from the coach himself, he knows they're playing scared, and I mentioned it there again. A site, they're playing onto the site, they're giving up A long, they're giving up control of middle, especially when they have UMPs and 5-7s. Why are they playing so passive? Go for a double A long setup. You know that Prophecy are doing the A long default, 3 towards A long. They're doing the flashes and whatnot, but go for the counter flash setup, play together, and annihilate them before they can even reach the site.
That's the thing, obviously, the contrast there from how aggressive they were playing over on Mirage. We saw constant aggressive plays, try and counter any map control that Prophecy wanted to take, whereas now they're allowing them to take whatever map control they want and trying to play for the retake, and they're just not being able to do it.
Eco coming out from Infused now, as we go into round number 23. There's going to be no armor onto these CT players. Only pistol brought up. There's going to be PT-50s, a Deagle, and a CZ. So this is looking likely right now for Prophecy to be 11 to 12, 1 round behind Team Infused. Another issue as well, this is a round where Prophecy can build up so much bank versus these pistols, have 4 or 5 stay alive. Yes, there's no SMGs to build up as much cash as possible, but the fact of having 4 or 5 stay alive, you're going to get the $3,500 back into your bank account. If you get 1 kill, suddenly what? 3.8k? That's enough to go for an 8k armor and a buy.
Yeah, it's true right now. Red Snake, though, just trying to fight through the fire here as he is landing the tags, but he can't quite convert it into the frag just yet. Callie gets a little bit of confidence. He wants to try and go for the repeak. He just decides to back off, but unfortunately Team Infused are falling. Red Snake more like Dead Snake right now as he goes down. Aaron as well. Gonna hit the deck, and it's just left on Fry and Mick.
B-bomb size Prophecies, as we have 5 players staying alive as well, so aforementioned economy is slowly but surely building. Winning this round of 5 players alive will basically cement an extra buy round, so another round where Infused have to win to force that eco to come out in the latter portions of the second half.
Just easy kills going to the way of Prophecy into this round. You did expect them to be able to get this, obviously, Infused on this one. Just want to try and get it out of the way. They don't have that much of a buffer left, though. If Prophecy do claim the next round, obviously that is going to be 12-12. They'll be equal in terms of the scoreline, and it gets very scary at that point. They need to try and respond soon. Mick, well, actually quite a juicy shot, though.
Yep. Does get 1 kill for himself on the Team Infused side into this round. Can salvage his AK and bring it into round number 24. Nevertheless, though, only 1 round separating these 2 teams as things get so close as it goes down to the wire. What is Infused going to bring out into this round? They know that Prophecy anticipate weakness towards the A side. They've been exploiting it round after round. That's been breaking the bank of the CT side. So, round number 24, do you go for a triple setup towards the A side? Double towards A long, have an alt peek towards mid, that could work. Do you play for information, have an alt peek towards A long? Actually, this is the call, this is the read. They anticipate Prophecy to go back towards B and actually expect the unexpected of actually rotating more players towards A. So, bit of reverse psychology, but luckily Infused are winning it.
This is nice as well because you go for the counter boost play with Fry, get him to the elevated angle. Idea is he finds that first frag, you immediately drop back, and that's where Trials is going to be the one warding off any opposition that wanted to try and push through. But it's going to be the heavy burst play straight out of Porch here, so it's going to be a little bit awkward.
Aaron alone as well, close towards platform. Red Snake will be smoked off eventually. What can he do?
They do clear the angle and he'll fall, but luckily enough, Red Snake's there to try and trade. He will find a double kill as he's getting the kills and gets away with his life. Fry can rotate over now as well. He's gone for the boost play from behind. Fry can find so many kills.
He can indeed. There's the ADP on the flank right now. It's a 4 versus 3. What can he do?
He finds the first frag as he opens up this round, tries to do a little bit more. Arch looks confused. He takes him down. Infused are back in the game.
Very smart stack there towards the B bomb site. Prophecy have been exploiting the weaknesses, the cracks and crevices towards the A site round after round. They've been breaking the bank that way. Neil and Red Snake, they decipher exactly what Prophecy want to bring out into this round. They thought, as I did, it was going to be the 3-man stack there, have 2 players towards A long, the AWP from Fry one towards mid to hold off that mid angle. Instead, Red Snake, Neil, they read the situation. Like chess, they read the next play, and it grants them round number 13, but can they be reset from this scenario?
Oh, Inkolo with the opener, bounces his way into the site, finds that kill on towards Red Snake. They're going to be so furious that has occurred.
So, Infused right now, their round loss bonus has been reset. If you lose multiple rounds in a row, you'll be given money as a mechanism to get back into the game, to allow yourself to buy up into later rounds if you continue to lose. It's a way of getting back into this one. Obviously, in a scenario where you lose multiple in a row, you win one, suddenly that round loss bonus is reset. And that scenario right now that Team Infused are facing, if they lose this round, their round loss bonus is reset. It's back to 1,400, and Prophecy could easily equalize and go further in terms of the scoreline.
Flash goes out. Peak comes around from Trials. He peaks before it actually blooms as well. And Calais will find the kill. Fry, though, playing on the contact AWP, will be able to pick up 1 kill, but they start to push towards him. Just gets overwhelmed. Too many angles to try and defend yourself from at that point. And it's an Aaron and Mick save that is going to be coming up.
You have to in this scenario. Impossible round for them to win. Yes, they have the kits. No smokes and Molotov and flashbangs, but 2-man disadvantage coming in towards that site. Unfavored scenario for the CT side, and they will save this one. Observer, can we take a look at the money, please, real fast? So, they're going to get 1.4k into the bank account. Fry one's going to have 3,200, so he can't buy an M4. No one on the CT side can buy an M4, so if Infused go for the risk, they force around these 2 M4s, it's going to be 2 M4s, and they can drop over some UMP, so it could be a double UMP buy, a CZ onto 1 player, 2 M4s, so there's still a chance, but this is where Prophecy can really get back into this one.
Twigs will spot out Mick, but he's actually able to connect the headshot towards him, so they do stay alive and at least have this little tidbit of firepower to aid them into round 26.
See what the bar's going to be like. 12 to 13 with the scoreline now. Look at this shot coming out from Collar as well. Such a pivotal frag to find. An entry towards the B-bomb site, and eventually they do end there as well. And it forces Aaron and MCK to save across the map. Buy coming out from the CT side. It's looking like they're actually going to be saving this one. Yep, so MCK buying up, and it's going to be the eco coming out for the remaining 3 CT players. 2 rifles, an AK, and an M4 in play right now from the CT side. MCK alone towards A. Going to try and get an entry play rather aggressive. Get that first kill, get the advantage, and try and win off the numbers.
Mick playing up close personal here as well. He's going to fall back a little bit, try and be a little more lenient. But actually, Aaron, he's been very decisive as he does get that opening kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, then those towards the top of drops, they can't really retrieve that weapon. Boost comes out for Fry one on top of the boxes on platform. And luckily, right now, for the CT side of Infused, it's actually going to be the A play coming out from Prophecy. MCK has the AK, double flashbang, and Molotov and Kevlar. So, if there's a player you want to hunker down and anchor this A site, it's definitely Mick. Can he deliver though? Right now, Infused, they have the man advantage. Aaron as well, the double rifle setup going to be rotating back towards this A site. It's a very good read once again from Infused. And as well, 2 other players are going to be joining the ranks towards this A bomb site. This is looking like a big upset round here from Infused.
Yeah, start to reposition, reshuffle your defense towards that A site, but it needs to be a good one right now. The Tunku down starts to find these frags as the openers do come in, but quickly Slap and Arch respond as they dispatch everyone in front of them. Slap gets a double kill. Arch comes in for his second of the round as well. It's left on Red Snake. He's only got a P250. He might have read the round correctly, but unfortunately they just couldn't find the kills.
We're sitting down the 1 versus 3. Arch is on low P. 1 headshot coming out from the P2000 would merit the frag.
Yeah, they're so low at this point, limping around the battlefield as they find themselves trapped in some awkward locations, but they have no reason to peek, just have to wait for Red Snake to make the first mistake, and they will take him down.
It's strange to the fact that Aaron peeked as well. Fair enough, MCK was mollied out of default. He got 1 kill, eventually did go down. Unlikely case in that scenario to even get 1 kill, so fair play to MCK. Issue was Aaron tried to back up Mick, peeked from behind APC, and a player towards middle was easily able to find that kill onto the second M4 that was into the round. So it's going to be the buy coming out from Infused. They scrap together what they can. 3 SMGs, all onto Fry 1, but no armor. It's the glass cannon AWP, the glass cannon sniper. Very fragile, but can definitely deal enough damage to grant them round number 14. This is the round that could potentially set our winner into this cobblestone map. The smokes towards the B-bomb site, the fake smokes as well. This could be a good execution here from Prophecy and catch Infused off guard.
Yeah, so crucial to decide how these rounds are going to start to go, as obviously the smokes do go over towards that B-bomb site now, and they will go for the aggressive play. Fry, he's blind, and unfortunately he can't actually work his way through that to get the opening kill. Does reposition, stays alive, finds the opener now as he will eliminate Gale. Quicks goes down as well as Mix is running a little bit rampant with that M4. He cools off a little bit. The T's are on the side, but they begin to fall. Actually, it's just this duo left. Kolo just goes for the instant commit for the bomb plant, but he baits them in. He comes off it. Mick fell for it and goes down.
Slapper's isolated now towards Rubble. 4 vs 2 right now. Kolo's low HP as well.
They have that utility to aid them on the side of Team Infused. Kolor still just going for these aggressive peaks. He's teaming with confidence. He wants to try and find these kills. Could force them out of position. That Molotov is doing a lot of damage to Fry. He has to peek out as the push comes in, but they're facing one by one. They can't trade with each other. Aaron gets the massive opener though, but the spray down comes in from Slap. Luckily enough, Aaron's in the rear, and he will find the headshot. Look at the relief there onto the coach's face. He knows exactly how close that round was. 2 vs 4. Slap isolated towards Rubble. The flashes come in. Collar finds 1 kill. Slap finds the double kill essentially while those 2 players were blind. Aaron though from the flank does seal the deal. Even so, 1 player staying alive for the CT side means the money will be low going into round number 28. It's going to be again SMGs into the CT arsenal. Double UMP setup onto Resnick and MCK. 2 M4s from Charles and Aaron, and back at it again with the sniper. Fry 1 delivering time after time again. He finds that first kill for the CT side towards the B assault versus Prophecy. And man, he's really been stepping up tonight. But anyway, we go into the present, round number 28. UMP onto Calais, 3 AKs and the AWP onto Call-Up with a buy from Prophecy, as they can't concede this one. Once again, the A long default coming out from them. It worked before, smoking off the end of long, have a control of mid and A long, and eventually going for the execution and executing back onto the A site and playing a methodical and slow but clinical execute towards the A site. Still, stalemate towards mid, 5 vs 5 with 1 minute left on the clock. MCK now, and Aaron changing things up. They're playing so passive before. Neil M in the talk in the pause time said, why are we playing so scared? We've been owning them the whole game, to quote him. And now you can see the aggression coming out from the CT side now as they slowly but surely peak these angles and regain real estate towards mid. Yeah, Mick trying to play on this off angle here, just tuck in close. If they do peek through, they have to clear it or it's an easy trade, but he has no one working with him there to hold it as a crossfire. They are setting themselves up for this push to come through. Time has ticked all the way down. It has to be now or never, but they peek together. They find that opening kill. Aaron, he's in an elevated angle, perched up top. The high ground works out massively as he gets a double kill. Drops up as well, hits someone with a nade. That's a header going out, and Trials comes into effect, eliminates Quicks. It's just left on Kolo. Kolo goes down. It's all on Calais now to try and do work. Runs rampant with that UMP as he speeds through the site, but he has not got time.
He went for the M4, retrieving that one may be costly. Trying to scrape towards the back of the site. He manages to get it out, has 5 seconds to plant. He fakes it though! That's the round over!
Oh, he peeks up, goes down, Fry finds the kill. He got it just on 4 seconds. He could have committed to the full plant there, but the push came through. He had to get both kills to win the round. What a crazy round.
High risk, high reward in that scenario, going for the fake plant. Yes, he found the first frag onto Red Snake, but Fry 1 didn't peek, didn't give him an edge. With 2 seconds left, he played it patiently, and it's going to grant Infused now match point. Money still low though. Prophecy, if they win this round with the 3 10-9s, the 2 AKs, make it 14 to 15. Force a very weak buy coming into the final round from the CT side of Infused. There's definitely still a chance here, but still, what can they really do with their lack of firepower? Such a distinct, well, essentially lack of utility as well. 2 smoke grenades onto Calais and Collar. Utility onto Slap, but apart from that, not really any grenades in their inventory. Maybe the crux for Infused to take this one in a very upsetting fashion in a 2-0.
Yeah, Flashpoint's going out early as well. They really don't want to allow Prophecy to push in this one with their own time, and they want to waste as much time as possible. Kolo tries to play around the smoke, but he runs straight into Red Snake, who is going to rip him down. Fry as well does a bit of damage. Fry just single-handedly starting to work his magic now as he's landing these shots, but he does go down, leaves them in a 2 versus 3. They have rifles here.
1-man advantage right now for Prophecy. Actually, no, sorry, Infused. It's actually the 1-man disadvantage for Prophecy. Arch puts that one player towards Rock. But still, they're going to go for the boost towards Tree, catch off the CTs off guard.
If they're not aware of this, Arch could do so much damage.
It.
But they fluff it. They can't get themselves to the elevated angle. Aaron himself will now go for the counterplay. He's up top. He's perched up, and he's finding the kills. Once again, Aaron goes down, but it's a 2v1. Arch has to do it all on his lonesome. He can't quite do it. Team Infused pick up the 2-0. They take the series, and they make UK proud.
Biggest upset of the day, as the UK homestyle boys themselves take the 2-0. The upset win there versus Prophecy. Beginning of the day, these players were the second in the standings, and 5th and 6th position gets the 2-0. That's such a big win there for Infused as well. That might actually be the game that puts them in the top 4, and they make playoffs just off of that 2-0.
You had the 4 points there. They get the additional points they're going through.
7. They're above all the other UK teams. They're currently 4th. They have to be. So, massive win there. You can still hear Neil shouting away. He knows how pivotal this 2-0 was. And slap down your screens. He knows exactly what this means. They're going to be deducted back down to 3rd. If they get there, if they finish 4th, you don't want to be playing versus Envious in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, this puts them above every other UK team right now in that top 4 spot. As long as they keep this form, they can try and lock that spot down, work their way into playoffs, and it's looking like that might be the case.
Yep. Neil there, patting the shoulders of Fry1, the star player for the night. Yes, MCK and Aaron stood up, but in terms of consistency over those 2 maps, you have to put it into the MVP, potentially into Fry1's hands. Clutch plays the USPs, so the pistol rounds, the rifle rounds, and of course the AWP. So, stellar performance from him and all the Infused boys to take this home for the United Kingdom, and it's a 2-0 sweep.
Yep, lovely display there from Team Infused, but now we get back to the lovely men themselves over on the desk.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you very much, Nods. There you go. It means so much to those boys. You could see the passion. Team Infused win our final map of the day and take the match against Prophecy 2-0. We'll get the reactions from both teams and the thoughts of Henry and Thorin very shortly.